Poisonrana.
Hello.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Poisonrana Live. We are, sorry, I had my headphones on, and you know when I can hear myself? I was talking to myself right now. So for my own justice of the show, hello. Braden Herrington here. There we go. Take two. We're professionals. Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Poisonrana Live. You found us in whatever podcast app you're using right now. And it's Sunday, February 1st. Pay your rent. Which means
we are live on youtube.com/@PoisonRanaPod. Hello, YouTube room. How are we doing?
We were all ready to record a show at our normal time of 2 p.m., but we were a little hungover. More on that in a few. And then we decided let's go live at 3. And then right at 3, you knocked over a big glass of water, apparently. Yep. And then as I'm setting up in my little solarium here where I record, realize there's a protest going on right outside my window. So if that comes up through the microphone, so be it. Earlier they were singing, so it sounded like nothing, violent or anything, but
ambiance.
So someone's yelling right now, but it sounds like happy yelling, I think. I'm not sure.
Good,
so
good, nice.
Yeah, nothing violent. So that's always good. But yes, welcome to Poisonrana. Hit that subscribe or like wherever you are listening to us. And I see some people already in the chat. It's Sunday afternoon. We are here to talk about the wrestling, but more importantly, today we pour one out to an incredible run, an epic, legendary run has come to an end. Fillmore's Toronto has shut down.
It has, yes. I'm wearing my Fillmore's Toronto shirt right now.
I should have put one on.
It's legendary establishment. How long was that run?
I think like 45 years or something like that.
Wow.
The greasiest
45 years, yeah.
The greasiest place in Toronto. It's now gone. Maybe that's not what you thought we were talking about. Oh, yeah. And AJ Styles retired from the WWE. Interesting. Yes. He put the gloves back on, which I'm sure some people were doing also in that establishment we were at last night. But
we'll be getting all into it. Obviously, huge day yesterday. We had a massive day with the Royal Rumble. We had our Rumble party. Yes, we also said goodbye to some legends across continents and not continents, countries in Toronto and WWE NXT, all of that. But we'll be getting into all of that. It's going to be a fun show, going to be a fun discussion. I think both of us are feeling a little loopy. I'm not too bad. Could definitely be worse. But we're trying to get our brains together right now as we tackle this show today.
Definitely. Electrolytes, water, some coffee, some food.
Here.
Yeah, exactly. So we're preparing. All we need, what else do they say is a good banana? They say that's good for hangovers. I feel like my voice is a little rough, but that was because we were watching at a watch party, and we gotta shout out anyone listening who attended the Poisonrana Rumble at National in Toronto. And you know what? Shout out to the people who were there in spirit. We always appreciate people who are like, oh, I wish I could come to these things. And that's always nice to hear. But thank you to all the people that showed up, because this was a big one for us. We have done a bunch of our Poisonrana events, not only in our beautiful city of Toronto, beautiful when it's not as snowy out, but we've done events in New York, in London, and all over the place. So we've made a bit of a community here in our city, and we've done a lot of events at different bars and venues and stuff. But obviously, Gabby's, where you work sometimes during the week and the weekends at the bar, we've had a little bit of a connection with them because you work there and stuff, and we were doing events there. But we kind of were maybe outgrowing it a tiny little bit. Not saying that place is small or anything, but we realized, hey, maybe we want to expand, and we were kind of almost poached. It was like we're talent. Someone comes to our event, it's like, oh, this band cooks. I better sign them to a record deal or something. It was kind of like that. So shout out our boys at National, because some people saw the work that we were doing, saw the community that we built, and we should be definitely proud of it. Definitely a pat on the back, because anyone could have just seen that and then started, playing wrestling at a bar and stuff like that. But that's not what we do. We make it a whole party and an event and community. And so thank you if you are listening and you showed up at the National. We had, I think, about 150 people in there, and it was awesome. So thank you so much.
Such a great time. Awesome. Yeah, like a massive shout out to like Oren and Jensen, who got it all organized for us there, but also the staff, who were just awesome the whole shift. They were so on point and having fun with it and everything. Like, I know Gabbies know what to expect now, because we've done a bunch there, but going into somewhere new, like, they don't necessarily know who we are, who you guys are showing up, how it's going to be. And I don't think it really could have gone any better. Everyone seemed to have an absolute blast. It was one of our favorite events we've done. And yeah, as you said, like, anyone can just throw on wrestling, but I think we provide a lot more. Like, I think the fact that we clearly know everything that's going on and try to build the enthusiasm with that, where other people might just throw on Netflix and not really know or care. The Rumble pools we were doing with all the prizes we were giving away, some, Austin vests, some DX jerseys, and T-shirts, Funko Pops, all of that. Steve Aoki tickets, $200. Like, yeah, it was great. Like, I mean, that those Rumble pools filled up so quickly. And then I know our friend Big Tom did a separate raffle as well for the beautiful white Intercontinental Championship, which people seem stoked about as well. So I thought we had an absolute blast.
Yeah, I mean, like, the Rumble is always fun because, like, I'm not necessarily the biggest sports guy in gambling and all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily my avenues, but when it comes to the Rumble, I think that's the one time a year I'm like, yeah, like, let's go. How can we do side pools? And I can see why people get maybe into this gambling thing, because I'm like, yeah, hey boys, let's do a side pool bet. Okay, let's go. It's like, I'm getting so like, oh yeah, I didn't win anything, but that's okay. We didn't obviously want to enter our events pool because, like you said, there was so many people and it filled up really, really quickly. But the way you did it is like tiered. So like the winner of let's say the men's Rumble, for an example, the winner. So every number is $10. So you can only buy one number per person, just because of how busy it was. In the past, we've let people buy more than one, but this time was like everyone gets one number and per Rumble. And then if your number wins, then you win $200 cash. If you're second place, you get the vest you mentioned. And then you had like tiered things. So if you got Chelsea Green, if you drew Chelsea Green, you won tickets to our friends Northern Crown Wrestling in Toronto, because she's
keep it Canadian,
Canadian. I saw what you're doing. Whoever drew Penta got tickets to our friends at Demand Lucha in Toronto, so people were stoked about that. Then you said we got some Steve Aoki tickets randomly given to us to give away, and then get this: the guy who won them told me that he legit entered the Rumble because his friends got tickets to Steve Aoki and he didn't get one yet.
No way.
And then when he showed up at the event and you had like printed a little picture, he was like, Steve Aoki.
What the fuck?
So he didn't tell me that until he won it, because when he won that, he popped. He was like, oh my God. And I was like, it's okay, I guess this guy likes Steve Aoki. And then he had explained the situation. And I was like, that is really bizarre. So remember when we were given like a Sammy Guevara figure like a few years ago? And then it just so happened that the one Sammy Guevara fan in our event won it, and it was just so stoked. So
yeah,
it's good when you see things like that happen. I just thought that was hilarious. I thought that was just so hilarious that this one guy who probably if any other wrestling fan won tickets, they probably wouldn't even go. They'd be, I don't know what this is, but this guy was so lit.
I think it's fun as well doing the different things. Like, even if you're the person who gets eliminated in the quickest amount of time, you win a prize. So when we do it, you basically have a 1 in 3 chance of winning something, which is really good odds. But it's funny you saying about how things happen, because we did have to change a couple, and want to also say a big thank you to our friend Reckless Rob, who always provides us with stuff to hand out. So we had the we got the Rhea Ripley t-shirt, which was great because I had a Zelina Vega Funko Pop and a Brock Lesnar Funko Pop coming, and they were going to be prizes for certain things. And I ordered it because like they might seem two random pops, but I needed one extra prize for Rumble, and they were on offer, and they said they'd arrive by Friday. And I check on Friday night, and it says arriving Sunday. So I went full Karen on Amazon, and they just arrived today, along with my 12 packs of bubbly. And Amazon have now given me a full refund of the entire order, plus $10 credit. So I've got these Funko Pops now for our next giveaways.
Nice.
But also, like with the like you saying about Just Chance and the Steve Aoki tickets, unfortunately, my coat got stolen at the end of the night at a different establishment. And, you know, I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm not going to let it ruin what was such a fantastic day. And I was lucky because I didn't have anything valuable in my pockets. But with it being AJ Styles' potentially last match yesterday, I was looking everywhere for my AJ Styles gloves.
Right.
I've got a couple. I've got like the leather ones, and then Rob gave me.
Let people sink that in for just a second.
Yeah.
He's got multiple.
I've got 3 sets.
AJ Styles gloves in every fucking color.
Got blue, red, and then I've got like the like mittens that you can use on your phone still, like the magic fingers.
Yes, that's right. Remember, you got the AJ Styles texting gloves.
Yeah. And I was so disappointed that I couldn't find any of them. I could just find one glove, and then I couldn't even find that in the morning. So yeah, pretty disappointed about losing my coat. So this morning I go out for my little walk, grab my coffee. Obviously it's fucking freezing here, so I need a coat. So I pull out my old winter's coat that has a bit of a tear in it. And wouldn't you know it, in the pockets, my AJ Styles gloves. It's like, God damn it, why couldn't have my coat been stolen on Saturday? Like,
so
on
your
Friday,
your other coat retired like AJ's WWE career, but wow. So there you go. You found the gloves, even though you lost the jacket. It had a good run. Yeah. Just like Fillmore's. It had a good run. But
another few shout outs. Thank you to our friends at Inc. who provided the Steve Aoki tickets, as well as some NFL Super Bowl giveaways. Randy, who I see is in the chat, who gave us a prize that will be given out at a future event. So yeah, like we've got such a great community here, and it's awesome to see. It was awesome seeing new faces come to the event, as well as people that have stuck with us all the time and have been following us, whether it be, you know, Gabby's or Wide Open or now the National. Like it's awesome to see the little community we have here in the city.
You know, yeah, we had it's always cool seeing new people, and people like, I always ask, how'd you find us? If I'm not sure, people are like, oh, I Googled it and found you were an event, and then I found you guys do like shows and all that stuff. So that's usually how it works. But then we had people who followed us since we did, I've done some of these little ones in some divey little bars, and people still came and followed. And then they're like, wow, from that to this, like you guys are moving on up a little bit. So it was nice to see and hear some great feedback. So yeah, this was our biggest event that we've done. Like most amount of people, biggest venue. It's got like an arcade too. We didn't play any Mario Kart, but next time I'll fuck you up. It was awesome. So yeah, shout out all the people, all our friends in our community. You know who you are. You mentioned Rob. He was the one who was helping doing a lot of the Rumble pools as well. That's a tedious
Dan
job.
and Graham as well.
Yeah, and we're like looking, we're all on Twitter trying to find like, okay, most eliminations, who's the Iron Man, and like trying to figure it out for the prize and stuff. So our whole crew, obviously, we appreciate all the boys and everyone. My lovely girlfriend manning the door. She's become a fan favorite as well for everyone who's like, oh, wow, it's good to see you. As well as pure fandom, like we mentioned, Tom and Steve, who had not only title belts and masks and stuff like that. So we just create a vibe. We just create a whole party, and that's what it's all about. You know, sometimes when it's a big event like a Rumble or a WrestleMania, maybe you don't want to just watch it at home by yourself. Maybe you do want to go out, and whether it's with friends or make new friends or whatever it is, like wrestling definitely is this weird thing that brings people together in the community and stuff. So always very proud of hanging out with people and watching some wrestling. But the Rumble is the best. We had the Rumble shots.
Oh yeah,
we talked about the Rumble shots. So the Rumble, you never know who's going to come out, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it's a surprise. Well, same with the Royal Rumble shot is something you created where if for anyone who have never heard us talk about it, is where you order the Rumble shot and you pay one price, but then you don't know what you're gonna get because it's like a Royal Rumble. So that's become definitely a popular thing too.
We did it with balls this year. Like they draw their balls to see what number they've placed in the Rumble. We did it to see what drink you're gonna have. So and luckily, our shout out our server, Chase, I believe his name was, who just fixed it up for us. He was like, "All right, what number do you want, boys?" It's like,
yeah, I think we were like Blackbirds. Yeah,
there we go.
That was a lot of fun, and people like ordering the drinks. And you had the drink menu. You can go to our Instagram and see some stories that I've shared of the event, and then also the menu is up there too for anyone who's always interested in the food and cocktails that we serve.
Some lovely mocktails as well this time. I know not everyone's a drinker, but they have some. They had a non-alcoholic Negroni. Decided to call the Arrivederci after Julia. And my favorite pun this time round, Mai Tai is now.
Nice. Very nice. Is that a mocktail?
A mocktail Mai Tai.
Very nice. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't have one of those yesterday, but
no, we were sticking to the liquor.
But it was good. It was a lot of fun. So definitely see people at the next one. If you're listening in the Toronto area, we will be announcing something for the Elimination Chamber show, and then possibly both nights of WrestleMania as well. So already filling up this year with all the wrestling. You know, wrestling is really hot right now. WWE as a whole gets really popular. You know, we were at Raw last Monday and it was completely sold out. We were like, oh, there's a lot of people interested in this right now. And there was multiple of like, we had a lot of people like, you guys created this. I see other people doing this. I'm like, all right, I didn't invent watching wrestling with people at a bar, but we like to create community and fun and a party and atmosphere and stuff. But there were other places doing them and stuff like that. And again, it's cool to see just how popular I feel WWE is. But then you can tell who the hardcores are. Like when you go to a show or when you go to like one of our events where again, there's over 100 people watching this, and you can see when like Obafemi comes out, people react like, oh shit, this is crazy, NXT. And then people are like, I don't know who that is.
There was I can't remember the guy's name, but one guy basically stood up at the same time as us to do the open
walk. Yeah, we were doing it around the whole bar. The thing about this bar, Davie, and everyone said like this bar is just a whole lot bigger.
There's a lot of space, so you can be idiots and do the open walk.
We were
penta walk.
You should have. I wish we got that on when Oba hit. Me and you almost did like a conga line, and then these other guys did, and we're it was so fucking funny. And then Penta, obviously, people were doing the walk and everything.
Yeah,
but, such a good time. Yeah, you know, like wrestling. Sometimes when it's an event like this, you gotta watch it with other people and get silly and stuff like that. Whether you're drinking or not, like you know, it's just awesome. And it was 2 p.m., which is so cool. Like we got 150 people at a bar at 1 p.m. It's like, what in the hell?
I mean, we stuck around a good hour and a half after the event, and we still had a night left. It was great.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. So I think one of my favorite events that we've ever done.
Absolutely.
Definitely looking forward to doing some more in the future. So shout out National.
Shout out National. Let's get a few plugs out of the way before we get into all the news and the reviews, etc. We did recently on our Patreon review the 2016 Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns putting the WWE title on the line, one against all. That was a super fun review. That's available on the Patreon. We've had a bunch of stuff up on there recently. We have a little show called Up Yours, where we go to our world champion patrons for them to pick anything in the world for us to review. And Sean picked Ready Player One, the Spielberg film, and kind of got us into a bit of a deeper conversation about VR, AI, touching grass, all that sort of stuff. Was a really fun chat and a movie neither of us had seen before.
Yeah, like I've not watched that movie, but it's almost like a Easter egg hunt when you watch it of like pop culture and nerdy stuff. And Mechagodzilla fights a Gundam, so that was pretty cool.
We also have our retro NXT show wasNXT, where last month we went to the July 3rd, 2014 edition of NXT, featuring a kind of dream tag match of the 4 horsewomen before they were known as that, as well as the money-making Legionnaires.
Did they ever? They actually called themselves Money Making Fighting Legionnaires, or did we just create?
That was the Dax and the Scott Dawson, Rusev, Sylvester Lafort iteration of the group. What a trio that is.
Scott Dawson.
And then we've just decided, coming off the news of the Rumble, we want to revisit some classic AJ Styles, but we can't just sum up this man's career in one episode. So over the course of the next few months, I think we're gonna gradually work our way through. And we just decided before this show went on air to start with best match ever, AJ Styles TNA.
Yes, we just dropped the review of Royal Rumble 2016, a show I was at, so you can hear all my feedback about that. But it was cool to talk about the debut of AJ and where things were with him 10 years ago. And then literally yesterday, we just watched him at the Royal Rumble 10 years later, retiring from the WWE, or so they say. So it was a cool contrast to do that. But then it made me be like, oh, we got to do a best match ever AJ. It's a great send-off. But there's so much there. And then I think it was our friend Eric in one of our chats was like, oh, I just went and looked at here's all his matches of he's got so many. And I'm like, I remember his run in TNA because I was watching that. I'm like, there's so much in those 2000s. And then eventually he's got his New Japan run, now short, but might be some of his best stuff. And then there's WWE. So it's I don't know how to differentiate unless we just do we've never done this. We've done Rey Mysterio outside of WWE and then Rey Mysterio in WWE. And this is kind of three separate. That's how good AJ Styles is.
Yeah, I think TNA and then maybe one episode can be New Japan / Ring of Honor / Rest of the World. I definitely want to review, and I just searched it and it is available for free. The Will Ospreay AJ Styles match from 2015, which I attended at Rev Pro, which I've never watched it back. Obviously, it's a bit of a dream match and crazy that I believe only happened that once, I think. So for now. So I'll just fact check myself on that. But yeah, I definitely like to talk about that one at some point. And then obviously we got to talk about his WWE stuff because there's some absolute gems in there as well.
Yeah. There's so much. I have this old somewhere, this AJ Styles TNA best of DVD. It was part 1. And it's got all these 2002, 3, 4, up to 6 maybe of.
I believe they just uploaded the whole thing to YouTube. TNA.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. So there's a place to start of there's AJ, Jerry Lynn, and some of these cruiser X Division matches from the early days of TNA, and then he has some crazy stuff. So I couldn't. One show wasn't enough. Even 2. He's a phenomenal one. So we got to do 3 best match ever podcasts some point this year. So we will start with TNA, and very excited to talk about the best of AJ Styles. And who knows, maybe we'll be talking about him more outside of WWE. Hopefully not more in TNA, but maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit. But tons of podcasts. Appreciate we had some new people sign up to the Patreon this week. There's tons of shows there, all these retro wrestling pay-per-views, movie reviews, and then the best matches ever, and the Champ is Here series, which we will be getting back to soon. So tons of shows, and it's literally $5. You want to buy us a beer, you want to be there in spirit, buy yourself hundreds of podcasts. It's only $5 for a whole month's access. Patreon.com/Poisonrana. Go check it out.
And if you don't want to make the splurge right yet, you can also just support us by hitting that like and subscribe on YouTube, on our Spotify, Apple, wherever you find us. 5-star reviews go a long way. Nice little written pieces on why you love us. That helps as well. And if you want to maybe sample of some of the stuff outside of this review and up next, we do have movie reviews for free on this feed, as well as previous best match evers, a few episodes of The Champ is Here. I know someone approached us yesterday saying they just listened to episode 10 of The Champ is Here and thoroughly enjoyed it. So you can check out all of those for free on this feed, and hopefully you like it enough where you'll drop that $5 down the line.
I think it was one of our friends. He came to our event yesterday. Ivan Rivers, folk icon, legend. He said he was making a long drive, so he put on he told me he was listening to a show, and he said that he was dying laughing because I was shitting on the Miz.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, maybe he was listening to the Royal Rumble 2016 review that we just did, because I think I definitely shit on The Miz. And he's like,
maybe he was listening to one of my hundreds of podcasts I've done.
And then I realized, oh, wait, no, I just been shitting on The Miz every chance I fucking get. So I think he was saying it was episode 10 of Champ is Here, which is for free on our free feed here. So yes, tons of free content. Appreciate everyone. And hey, follow the Instagram if you use that, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. It's a great way to connect and share stuff and everything. So hell yeah. What should we do? Should we talk about the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I think let's go in order. Shall we start with the women's Royal Rumble match?
Let's get ready to rumble. Yeah, absolutely. Let's start. Was it only me? I'm not trying to like start anything. You know, I can be a little shit disturber sometimes, but it was difficult for me to watch the women's rumble with the bodysuits, because I wasn't used to them wearing the bodysuits. So it made it difficult for me to try to figure out who was who. With certain hair.
I certainly felt the same at times. And I found that watching SmackDown even, because there was a point where Charlotte hit the natural selection on Liv, but Alexa was in the ring at the same time. And I was like, what? She just hit that on her partner? And realized,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, got to say, the women's gear has come a long way since those first Saudi shows where it looked like they were wearing charity t-shirts for a half marathon or something. Whereas at least now the gear looks pretty good. But I think when you've got 30 women coming out, there's only so much you can do with these bodysuits to differentiate them. And I certainly struggled at times.
I actually, I think they looked good. Like I know they have to get these, specially made for like probably just as one event or whatever. But I found that it was sometimes I maybe just like specifically, like you mentioned, blonde, like long blonde hair and the extensions and all that. Extensions. It's like, it's similar. It's like, so certain people had different bodysuits of different colors to like kind of stand out and everything like that. So I guess that makes sense. But yeah, definitely an upgrade from what we've seen from before. But it's still weird. I almost I forgot. And then the match started and the first person came out, because I didn't watch SmackDown, and I was like, oh, yeah, right. The bodysuits. I was like, wait, because I think someone who clearly was like a maybe new to, I don't know, like a non-fan, but like a casual, because someone was at the bar and went, why are they dressed like Power Rangers? And I was like, yeah. I guess. So and then someone had to understand, like, hey, and then he was like, oh shit, right. That's of course, yes. So I don't know if that even sounds offensive. Like, who was hard to see who was who.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Like I find it in sport when I watch a game and they're both wearing the same or very similar colors. I'm like, guys, we have home and away kits, so this doesn't happen. Why are you wearing dark blue with white shorts and the other person wearing light blue with gray shorts? It's like, just change the colors.
So, in the wrestler, Mickey Rourke is like, oh, you guys working the leg, brother? Okay, yeah, we'll work the arm in my match. It's like this. Hey, you wearing pink? Oh, okay.
Are you wearing long blonde extensions today? It's like, yeah. Oh, okay.
I see someone in the chat, Jamie, saying the blonde final three could have been way more confusing if they overlapped. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Actually, I think those three, despite all being blonde, like Soul's gear was like just so different that she could stand out a little bit, I thought.
Yeah. But let's go through this match, the Royal Rumble. Now, I didn't go back and rewatch. The only thing I've rewatched today was just before recording and having some lunch. I put on the AJ Styles match.
Me too.
Like, I'll watch his last match back and whatever. But so I didn't necessarily go back to watch the Royal Rumble, but it's still pretty in my head, considering it was just yesterday. So how did you feel about that? You didn't rewatch it.
I didn't rewatch it, no. And like I will say, like, I also went back and rewatched the Sami match. I will say we don't watch it the same way when we're watching it at these watch parties as we would back at home. Like, we're not necessarily as focused on like the minutia, but still, I thought similar with both Rumbles. I thought there were some fun moments. I'm always going to enjoy a Rumble. I'm not going to be bored in a Royal Rumble. Just the nature of it, the countdowns, the different people coming out, the often silly spots and stuff like that. They're always fun. I didn't think this was great. I thought it was pretty weak for the most part. I didn't think there was much memorable moments, and I didn't think, and I certainly felt this with the men as well. Often you use the Rumble to maybe propel other stories as well. Obviously, you know, the title direction, but you have like the mini little, this person eliminated that person. And if they did do that, I didn't think it was really hit over the head enough. I thought production was definitely off across this whole show. Whether that's maybe they got people in from Saudi rather than shipping everyone overseas to do it, but there were multiple mistakes with
so many
match graphics and, you know, certain moments not being really caught on the camera or timing issues or stuff like that. And that was both evident in the men's and the women's. Off the top of my head, moments I liked, I thought NXT had a good showing. I thought Sol Ruka looked great. I thought Kalani, for her like short appearance in there, like maximized her minutes. Similarly with JC, I think Lash Legend really leveled up. Like they gave her the monster spot in this, and
eliminating Rhea, I think, right?
Yeah, like I thought that's the biggest and most star power I've seen with Lash. So I think it was a really beneficial Rumble for her.
Oh wait, I think Rhea eliminated her actually, but they had like the big back and forth. Yeah.
You had, like every time Sol hit a Soul Snatcher, there was like this gasp at our watch party. So that was cool. And look, I've always been a Bella defender. I know they're not everyone's cup of tea. And good for Brie with the pop she got, and certainly was the biggest pop in the Women's Rumble from where we were. But I think that's maybe a little comment on the Royal Rumble itself if the biggest pop of the match was Brie Bella.
That was the one surprise that we got, was Brie Bella.
And I definitely think there's something to be had with a like some nostalgia thrown in there. And for me, I don't even class Brie Bella as nostalgia. Like I think she was in the Rumble 4 years ago, if I remember correctly.
Like the first few women's ones, they would bring in anyone because they didn't have like the deep roster. Where now you have so many.
They have so many, but I do think, unfortunately, you might want to sacrifice one or two some years just to get some people in. Overall, I thought was pretty weak. Was one of my least favorite women's Rumbles. However, I really liked the finish. I thought the three, who was it? It was Liv, Sol, and Charlotte, right? On the apron, having like a little mini match on the apron right at the end. I thought that was really exciting. And I thought they kind of nailed the finish. Not necessarily surprised with Liv won. I think both of us, she was one of our picks to win it. But yeah, I thought the ending was good, but the rest was kind of meh for me.
Like that's how I've been feeling about thinking about it. I'm always excited about this match because it's such a fun concept. And like we said, we turn it into different games and make it a whole thing and whatever. And it's always exciting because you count down and whatever. But when you look at the last like 5 to 10 years, the Rumble matches themselves aren't usually good. They're not usually like even when, you know, you get in the Rumble spirit and when you're a kid or whatever, and you got time to kill, you watch old Rumbles back, and there's certainly some good Rumbles and star power. And it's always a snapshot of what's going on in that time in WWE. But there is a lot of walking around. There's a lot of punching and kicking and stomping in the corner and hanging on and selling and stuff. But
I think the best ones are you pace it out maybe like every 5 entrants. You know, you have your you normally have like a couple of big names early on, and then you have maybe a nostalgia pop or a return or something like that. Normally the nostalgia one pretty early on, and then you might do a little comedy spot around number 10. Think my favorite moment, like Too Cool and Rikishi doing the dance mid Rumble. And then you start, like, as that starts to dip, you bring in one of your big monsters or whoever to clear the field. And then you have your main eventers come in and that kind of thing. And they're normally paced like that. And you set up a few different things. The only thing off the top of my head I can really remember them setting up wasn't it Natty and Becky had a bit of a moment, which is kind of weird, seeing that Becky is in this heel role and Natty's just turned heel, coming out as Natty now. Apart from that, there aren't really many moments that stood out for me in this one.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily find this too exciting. You had some cool people and star power, if you will, and like you said, the Lash Legend spot was cool. There was for some reason I remember Kiana James being in there for a long time.
Yeah, and actually, because she was someone that when we were watching her in NXT, we were saying, "Oh, she's pretty
all right,
good,"
yeah.
and then she moved up and got injured right away, and then put in this weird role as Julia's assistant or manager or whatever it is. And I thought she actually reminded us in this match she can do some things as well in ring. But yeah, she was in quite a while.
For us, like covering NXT, you mentioned Sol Ruka and Kalani Jordan, but the NXT Women's Champ, JC Jane, she was in there. So that's like a first time maybe some people got a chance to see her.
And I think Sol eliminated her, right? So maybe that
foreshadow.
Maybe that goes into something for NXT, perhaps if we could. I mean, do you get the title on Sol quickly, so then you can have Zarya and Sol at Stand and Deliver and blow that up then maybe.
Yeah, like we were saying on Tuesday on Up Next on Post Wrestling, we were saying that maybe this week is when Zaruka implodes or explodes, but they could stretch that out forever as NXT or wrestling goes. Like the Judgment Day since day one have been teasing the breakup, so like really that can happen, whatever. But I do see Sol Ruka being champion in 2026. In fact, maybe Stand and Deliver is where she wins that championship, and maybe that is what you would book. But I think people first time seeing some of these NXT people like Lola Vice as well, who she didn't necessarily she wasn't in there that long, I thought, but she's someone that I think people would become a fan of with obviously her fighting background and stuff like that. So all of the people from NXT I could see being on the main roster. Like it's the kind of the cream of the crop of like Kalani, Sol. I mentioned what is it, JC and Lola. Like those are some of the
they feel like the top four, don't they?
Yeah, I'd say
in NXT right now.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't think that was the most interesting Rumble. I am not the biggest Liv fan, but you can't deny that she should have won. She definitely should. She's become one of the biggest stars over the last
one of the
years.
most comfortable performers as well when it comes to the like dialogue and stuff. I think that's something she's got really good at, is just mannerisms throughout her matches and stuff like that. I think she's come such a long way since
absolutely
early NXT, obviously, and we've been following her whole career. Like, what do you see the WrestleMania direction?
Yeah, because she's a heel, and it's like, do you get Stephanie to go all the? Stephanie's the champion, right? So you have her go all the way till WrestleMania, or do you have Raquel win it and then Judgment Day? Like I said, Judgment Day implodes. Or
I think that match is happening tomorrow, right? Raquel and Stephanie. Yeah. I think they'll stretch this out for a few weeks, but I think Raquel does win tomorrow. I think they can use Stephanie, still coming off of that injury. You can use that as kind of to protect her somewhat. I think Raquel should win. I think you want big stories going into Mania. And look, Stephanie's great. She's a great wrestler. I don't think, apart from the Devil's Kiss, she's necessarily connected on that level yet, especially to carry like a big WrestleMania match. I think Raquel's not one of my favorites, but she's definitely improved a lot as well. And I think just Judgment Day lore will make it feel like a bit of a bigger match. And you can also stretch it out with, Raquel being like, oh, so you're going to challenge for Jade's title, right? And Liv being like, oh, probably, like, that will probably be a story for a few weeks until Liv is the one. I'd assume. Who would you think is the heel in that feud if they do the split?
Raquel.
I
think Liv is just so popular that she's become a bit of a baby face almost. Like her character, it's funny. Like we say in wrestling, like when you're this like clean cut baby face that they're trying to use and get over, it never works. And then you get turned heel, and then you find your edge, and then you find your character, and then when you go back to being a baby face, all of a sudden you're over. It's like that's just how wrestling seems to work, and I think that's the natural pattern of like she's never been as popular as she has since being in this position and character with Dom and all that stuff, and then to now, like she got a big reaction when winning. So like really, she's She's a babyface.
Are there any other options? Obviously, last year we thought Rhea was going to be going into WrestleMania as the champion, and then you had Io kind of get a surprise win leading up. Could you see Stephanie dropping it to anyone else on the way to WrestleMania for a match with Liv? And if so, who?
Yeah, I don't know, actually. Like, I think because of the story with Raquel, it kind of works with Liv, but is that like the big WrestleMania match? I'm not quite sure. Like,
I feel on a 2-night card, you could get away with that match. I think there's bigger matches you could do, but I think having, they've definitely boosted the women's tag division quite a bit. So I think you'll have some of your stars in that. You've got your secondary titles as well. So Becky Lynch having a big IC title match at Mania, that will feel like a big deal. You've got the other women's championship as well. I think you've got enough stuff to give the women where Raquel versus Liv might not be the biggest, but story-wise, it could make it feel pretty big by the time it comes around.
I think we get the Bellas going for the tag titles.
Yeah, they should. They got a big reaction last night, and I, apart from those yes kicks, which weren't great, I thought
better than the Miz.
I thought they looked all right in there. So just funny because Nikki's a heel and is playing a heel in this match, and then as soon as Brie comes out, they're just baby faces, and everyone wants to see the Bella stuff. Everyone, Braden, wants to see the Bella stuff.
Everyone wants to see the Bella. You just think WrestleMania, I can see it now. Bella Twins beat Rhea and Io Sky. Let's get the two.
And that's when the turn happens. And Rhea just, I feel you can still ride this Rio wave for quite a bit before we do the breakup. I do. That could be a Mania option, maybe.
The Bellas came back. They got to be coming back for a reason. I mean, I think Nikki was pretty clear it was money, but like, I think the tag titles is something like, I'm not a Bellas fan, but they should win the tag titles. Why not? They're one of the only actual tag teams in women. Like,
what if you were to do the Rhea Io match at Mania and have like Charlotte and Alexa versus the Bellas or something like that?
True.
Instead?
Yeah, that would be better. Yeah,
it feels really premature to break them up.
I wouldn't have. Yeah, it does, because I feel like it's just one of the. Like, whether they're against each other or a tag team, Io and Rhea are some of the most popular stuff right now. So I'm not quite sure where you go with that, because Rhea has been a heel and then a babyface and a heel. It's like you can't keep flipping and flopping. And Io was a heel at one point too. So maybe you do just ride the wave of these two together. But I don't want to watch them fight the Bellas.
No, it does feel like a waste. I think I feel Charlotte and Alexa, I'd prefer to see in that position.
Right. Okay. So
or even like Lyra and Bailey or that kind of level people, I think.
Like maybe Io and Rhea could do like a Eddie Ray WrestleMania 21 thing where it's like, hey, we're partners, but we could have a match.
Yeah.
And then, whatever happened, the same thing could happen where Rhea's like, I can't beat you. And then it just spirals and turns into, I don't know, a bigger thing.
Chris in the chat says, starting to worry about the future of Bianca. If she was ever going to return, it would be here. This tells me she's still nowhere near a return yet, if at all. I think a lot of people, my two picks for the Rumble were Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair. And like crazy, this finger injury. She's been out since Mania. Like, she came back to do the special guest referee spot at SummerSlam. But apart from that, like, very quiet on the Bianca Belair front.
I hope we see her again. Yeah, she has definitely been missed. I was kind of hoping to see her yesterday. I forgot about that. But
she's such a huge star, and like, for me, she's Mrs. WrestleMania. Like, I don't think she's really had a dud, and has quite often had one of my favorite matches of the night at WrestleMania. So it'll be a shame if she were to miss this year.
I'd say the Asuka Bianca match was maybe like. It was okay.
It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't on the level of the Becky,
other
ones, Charlotte, and the three-way.
Yeah.
That was one other moment. We had Kyrie accidentally eliminating Asuka.
Yeah.
Do you see the Kabuki Warriors split anytime soon? And could that be a Mania match?
Yeah, that's true. Asuka versus Kairi. Yeah. I kind of would keep them together just because they already are an established thing.
I'd like
But
the triple threat at some point as well.
Io, Asuka,
Yeah.
Kairi. Yeah, that'd be
It
cool.
leaves Rhea a little bit on her own, but I would
Yeah.
like to see that.
You could do Rhea versus Jade. Like they still have the chamber, right?
Yep.
The chamber, women's chamber, the winner gets the title shot too. So that could still be like an option of I don't know. There's a lot of the women on the roster that I like. And then certain people like you're mentioning like Raquel. Like, okay, she has improved. Don't get me wrong, but I can't. That doesn't really do anything. If you announce Liv and Raquel at WrestleMania, I'm not necessarily hyped, to be honest. Like, it doesn't necessarily. Whereas I'm talking about like some of the other people. Again, Bianca's out right now, but she would be someone that comes to mind of like, ooh, any match that she's at WrestleMania would be a big one. Same with Rhea or Io, and I just feel like Liv is one of the bigger star power, but maybe the wrestling hasn't still got me as in or connected with me as some of the other ones. But there's a lot of like you're naming off all these women and like how many there's only so many matches on these shows. So
yeah, I think the last 2 years have been 14 matches in total, if I remember. It's been about 7 per night.
7.
So
okay.
Yeah, and we've named 6 women's matches.
And like
yeah.
that's not none of those are gonna happen. So we'll see if any of those happen. But yeah, I was a little disappointed with the Royal Rumble, but kind of like I said, I had my hopes. Like the Rumble matches, I know there's only like a certain ceiling. Like you're not gonna get like this. The things that are exciting is when it's surprises or returns or big eliminations or whatever. And maybe we'll see some of the things in this match lead to other stuff. You mentioned Soul eliminating JC. That will go somewhere or be brought up down the line or on Tuesday or other people where they interact with each other back in the day would set up like the WrestleMania match or whatever, right? So I'm sure this will lead to stuff. But I didn't hate this Royal Rumble, but it definitely is not something I wanted to go back and rewatch today. So
there aren't many Royal Rumbles that I've outright hated. I think that the year that Ronda won, I'm trying to remember who won the men's, but that was like right in the towards the end of Vince's main run and just the absolute dregs. I think that's one of the worst Rumbles in modern years. But I don't think they've been particularly memorable Rumbles.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the last like look at the last years of it. It hasn't necessarily they've not been great. You get little moments in it, and I guess that's what Triple H tells us. He builds the moments in these things more so than stuff. But I didn't hate it. Don't get me wrong.
You should stop keeping everything so secret from the production crew because they might actually catch some of these moments.
Yeah.
No, I caught up with Unreal this week, and everything is like then to the truck. It's like just go with it. I'm not telling you what's happening. Only Cody knows. But like, just go with it. Just follow. just follow LA. Follow Roman. Follow. It's like just tell him. Like
you told me you watched it, and I gotta watch it so we can like talk about it and dissect it. I'm sure because that's what we do. But watching the clip of them, and he's being so snarky about the Seth Rollins injury and all that. I turned that shit off so fast. I was like, this is not for me. I don't want to watch this. I will, but oh my God. Like WWE feels like a parody of wrestling because it is. And then I watched that and it's just more fake reality disguised as a documentary.
The things I like the most about it is when I like kind of just seeing the performers as themselves a bit more. Like Becky Lynch just comes across as the nicest person in this documentary. And obviously she's playing this sort of Trumpy character right now. And I know a lot of people, there were the Becky Hogan comments like not so long ago and things like that. And you watch this documentary and you go, doesn't come across as any of those things in real life. And I found the stuff with Lyra very interesting after like all the stuff that went wrong in that SummerSlam match and kind of them going over that and talking about that and stuff like that felt a lot more honest to me and therefore just more enjoyable. I think Chelsea Green is a joy to watch on this show. Like just seeing like real people doing their job and getting excited about it or upset about it. I find that a lot more interesting than when they're trying to work us in this show that's meant to be pulling back the curtain.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the show is meant to you know, the moments that I saw went viral when Triple H tells LA Knight, "You're not winning," and then he's like, kind of like boo-boo face a little bit, or like,
oh well, no, it was LA Knight fucked up the spot at the
oh
end
right,
of
sorry,
Money in the Bank,
right,
and he was like, oh shit, okay,
shit, right, yeah. I also saw the clip of the Undertaker on his wife's podcast. That was intentional.
right.
Undertaker on his wife's podcast saying, oh, I hate this show because like we shouldn't be pulling back the curtains and like it's exposing the business and everything.
Yeah.
But this one time when I was trying to figure out how to hit someone with the tombstone, you know, we were backstage and it's like, wait, what? Dude, for the last few years, you're literally explaining how the sausages are made. That's what you've been doing. Why is it not okay when WWE does it?
A Trump supporter being a hypocrite? Color me shocked.
He's like, I don't like how they're exposing the businessman, and then we'll go on to be interviewed by his wife about his career. For some reason. That pisses me off so much.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know who the other host guy or like what the story is and all that. Like I kind of feel
no one knows. Only Cody knows. Only Cody knows.
I guess I gotta watch Unreal, I guess, because I'm missing out. But I just from that to the clip of like when you hover over it on Netflix, because I was trying to rewatch that Rumble match today. And when you hover over Unreal on Netflix, it has Paul Heyman, and he's like, I don't like this show. This show sucks. This show stinks. Okay, so you're telling me this is fucking fake. It doesn't make me want to watch it, but I really will check it out this week. So we'll
Road Dogg comes across both really well and really bad at the same time. He comes at like I was watching this, and you know, Road Dogg's creative on SmackDown has been fucking terrible.
Is he gone?
No, I don't think so. But you watch this and you go, oh, he seems like such a nice guy and seems like he has the biggest heart going. But man, he's bad. It's like, I think Chelsea Green should win the US title again. And they're like, well, who will she face? She's already faced everyone. And he's like, oh, well, I don't know. I like Chelsea. It's like, dude, you're the head of creative on SmackDown. Like, you can't just be like, oh, but I like her. It's
how did he get a job again?
Yeah.
Who gave him his job?
Yeah.
Let's do a chain here. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon almost. How did Road Dogg get his job? His buddy? Okay, how did his buddy get his job?
Yeah.
A tale as old as time. I just between Only Cody Knows and A New Era.
Oh yeah.
Triple H, you really had me during the Black and Gold. You fooled me. You fooled me into I, as a young kid, really did not like Triple H. Color me shocked. Oh, wow. Triple H sucked. Okay. And then NXT happened. And I was like, wow, maybe this guy, I was wrong. Maybe this guy is good. And then I watched the stuff from Unreal last season and all the whatever's going on in WWE. You enjoying the show? It's all part of the show. It's a new era. It's a new era. I'm like, you know what? Actually, maybe you fooled me during Black and Gold. Maybe I actually am not a fan of you.
Yeah.
So I'll listen to your health tips on how to get jacked and make sure my heart is real good. But you fooled me. And then he hired his other buddy to work NXT. Anyways, where were we? The Women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Shall we move on to the career match? AJ Styles versus Gunther.
Yes. Definitely the most hyped I was for this pay-per-view was going into this show. I mean, this match, like this, we kind of said on Tuesday on our Up Next, like only in the last few weeks, this story kind of came together with Gunther and then the, retirement career on the line. And then you went to see the Nakamura match. And then we were at Raw with the Punk match. Like it was real quick. But in my opinion, just as a wrestling fan, I was like, hey, what's going on with this?
In a short space of time.
Yeah.
Built this fantastically.
I thought so. So like this had my attention because I liked the last time they fought a few weeks ago on Raw, but I definitely thought there was a little bit left for them to do. And that's definitely where this match came into play because it was awesome. Like they had AJ doing some of his best hits. You didn't have, was it was Michael Cole not, because I didn't hear Corey Graves. He wasn't on commentary, I guess, because he's the one who always yells
Barrett it was Barrett and Cole.
Yeah, so no Graves yelling Ushi Garoshi, but I always pop for the awesome move there. But yeah, this was pretty fun, and it had like emotion and stakes, and I think it all is like leaving us like, what's gonna happen? Is this a work? Is AJ gonna win? Is he gonna continue? Is he gonna retire? Is he gonna leave WWE? Is he gonna go somewhere else? And it's all these different factors that were going into this. And then I think Monday, when AJ said in the promo, he's going to end my WWE career. It's like, oh, did you purposely say that? Or are you just toying with all of our emotions? But I thought the match was really great. There was some cool spots in it.
Yeah, I'm really glad I watched this back today, because I was watching it yesterday, but I got to like focus a bit more today. And I thought, man, like if this is the end of AJ's career, the last 4 matches he's had, the 2 Gunther matches, the Nakamura match, the CM Punk matches, that stuff you can be pretty proud of. Like, because I thought all 4 of them were really enjoyable and showed he's still so slick and crisp in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely where my heart is at as a fan. It's like, dude, you're still fucking great. Now, you sure you want to give this up? Are you giving this up? Okay, so like he got bloodied up. His phenomenal forearm was bleeding all over the place, so that kind of added some things. I know it wasn't on his face or anything, or like you getting busted open the hard way last night in a different sort of Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. Like Gunther has been on an incredible run. There's been ups and downs this year, but he's just become a complete package in WWE of this menace of like evil, but also really entertaining, not only in wrestling. Like, think back to the Walter days. His wrestling has always been incredible, but now I feel like it's almost like Ospreay and him. For me, it's like I always thought these 2 guys were incredible in-ring workers. And then when they got to like their respective big North American TV shows, their promo game like stepped up. Like Gunther might be one of the best promos in WWE. So
very, like, so authentic and different from everyone else's promo, but he's very confident with it. Like, that's another thing that I found from Unreal, is seeing Gunther behind the scenes, where he almost seems smaller because he's like a nicer guy and like, taking his commands, whereas he's out there and just seems, final boss energy. And he's like smiling backstage and, oh, how are you going to put over Pat McAfee? And he's like, oh, I'm not quite sure about it yet. Just seems so normal. And then he's out there and just this, like big, terrifying Austrian who's just putting all these legends to rest.
Yeah, I've been loving the Gunther run of, not the AJ Styles. The John Cena, like Gunther having that as like a story. It was like when Brock beat Undertaker at Mania. It's like now you have that, like, Jericho will always mention in promos, I beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. It's like Gunther has that. I retired John. I tapped him out. Like, even though he smiled and tapped out, I tapped him out. And here, putting AJ to sleep. Now, okay, so he does cheat. He uses a low blow and hits a power bomb, and AJ kicks out. It's a great hope spot. AJ hit him with the Styles Clash. That was cool. But then when he's in the sleeper for like the 3rd or whatever time, AJ, his finger touches the rope and then he gets pulled back into the sleeper. So really, he was cheated. So I don't know if that's going to go in anything, but like his finger touched the rope, and then the refs in WWE just they don't know what they're doing these days. So maybe AJ has a gripe and can maybe get this match nullified or something. But match was really good. Gunther, again, head of his game. I would like to see Gunther in a headlining match at WrestleMania. Like,
where do we think we're going with Gunther?
Punk at this point, because it looks like maybe Braun is like the Vision shit is all tied up and doing different stuff, whereas like Punk,
you don't think we're doing Roman Punk?
True. Roman Drew could be good though.
Rematch from a while ago. Like, they've not done that for quite a bit, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, you can also have like, does Punk drop the title in Chicago and maybe to Gunther, and then you could do Gunther Roman or something like that at Mania.
Oh, interesting. I don't know.
like he should have a huge marquee match at this point. And unless it's, do they do a similar thing to what they did with AJ and it's someone trying to avenge like AJ Styles and goes up against him? But he really should be in a title match, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I feel like after you retire John Cena, you should be the champion. Like you should be the big match at WrestleMania, like easily one of the main events of the 2 nights, or at least in a title match. But Punk Gunther would be good. I'm not necessarily loving the Punk run, maybe as a lot of other people. So I wouldn't say like I loved their last match. Was it the SummerSlam? Like it was good, but I didn't think it reached like a level I was maybe hoping for. I don't know what else the next big match would be for Gunther, like unless AJ somehow comes back and that's the match. But I
mean, Brock down the line, I don't know if that's necessarily Mania.
Oba,
yeah,
right. There's other like literally any of the big stars could wrestle Gunther and he'd make them look good. But I don't know. Maybe Punk Gunther is I do hope he's in a more prominent, like a big, because like I said, his promo and character can really help build the match, and then the match itself should be good because he's a good wrestler. So I'm loving Gunther in this role, but leads us to what happens after the match, because AJ Styles went to sleep from Gunther. He wakes up and he realizes his WWE career is over. Gunther has retired him. So he stands in the middle of the ring. He poses. He goes to take off the AJ gloves, like the 3 different pairs you have. But then after he takes them off, he reminds us, no glove, no love, as he puts those gloves back on.
His hands got cold.
Yeah, in Saudi. He basically says he's got a lot left in the tank. And the crowd goes nuts here. Really big pop from these people. They were like, oh shit, what does this mean? And this is where all the fun or the speculation goes. Like, is this it? Are we finally getting AJ leaving WWE to do the dream match we've been all waiting for? AJ Styles versus Mr. Elegance in TNA. Are we finally getting that? Is that what's going to happen?
I'm so torn on this because you watch the match and you go, oh man, this guy can still go. But also maybe, we saw Tanahashi dial back the hands of time a little bit in that last match. And you go, maybe him knowing it's the end, he's just pushing through pain that he doesn't want to deal with anymore because he wants to give the most and knows he can't keep that up after this. I just find it like, putting the gloves back on, that to me is symbolizing you're not done. We've seen the thing is to leave your boots in the ring or your jorts or whatever. Like, it's putting the gloves back on definitely symbolize that to me, that he's not done. The wording's been peculiar because if you remember when Danielson left, when Daniel Bryan left, his match was if he loses, he has to leave SmackDown. And it was kind of a way where they're going, we know he's going away for a bit now, but we have the option to bring him back because we could bring him back to Raw or something like that. It wasn't if Danielson loses, he retires. It wasn't he's gone from WWE. They kind of left the door open a bit. Now, with AJ, it's commentary repeatedly going, his career's over. His career's over. But AJ on Raw was going, my WWE career. And then doing the thing with the gloves. Now, then I watched the post-show and Triple H says, like, oh, I wish we could have had him for the whole year. But he means it. He said he's done. When he's done, he's done. This was his last match. Peter Rosenberg said the same thing. He was like, no, there won't be any more. This is it. This is done. And I find it strange you'd be saying that if there was a chance. But also, is it just them being shitty to make AJ kind of look bad if he does go elsewhere? It's, oh, you went back on your word, that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
there was an element of that with Ric Flair's retirement, right? Where it wasn't that Rick wanted to retire. It was Vince was, you should retire and you're retiring this year. So that I find odd. And then surely, okay, like it's maybe he's in pain that we don't know about or whatever. But if he's making it this far, don't you want to just stretch it out to Mania? Like, I know his contract is reportedly like it's either ended today on February 1st or it's coming up very, very soon. Like, you would have thought they'd extend it by 3 months. You know, we'll give you a contract extension to Mania. We'll do a big Mania retirement match. Like, we're scrambling to figure out what Gunther could do. You know, Gunther could have just been a main character in the Royal Rumble and then builds this feud with AJ until Mania, and you do the retirement match, and it would feel a bit bigger. But retiring in the middle of the show in Saudi just feels a little weird. So I'm kind of going back and forth. Like, I'm listening to John and Way, and they're like, no, he's done. I'm pretty sure he's done. And I think you're like from talking to you, you seem to be far on the other side. And I'm just like flipping around I'm Switzerland here. I have no idea.
I mean, I agree. Like, yeah, like I'll think back to literally a year ago where I get clowned for joking. Like, oh, I want him to be all elite with his friends. And I just want him to wrestle Ospreay and Kenny like one last time. And then I dropped it. I gave up on it as a fan. I was like, all right, it's not going to happen. And that's cool. The only time that'll happen is when I play 2K and that'll be the end of it. Like, that's just, you know, it's just not meant to be, you know? And then, yeah, at Raw, it was specifically the promo where he's like, my WWE career. And then I was like, oh, hold on a second. You know, I sat up in the chair like, wait, what? What did you just say? And then it was some of the post presser stuff, you know, Triple H saying that stuff. And then I think it was everyone's favorite, Peter Rosenberg, who I used to really love, but he's definitely one of the WWE shills right now. But respect to him sometimes. But he said, oh, I talked to AJ, and AJ said like he would not go back on his word. And so again, what you kind of said, it's almost like
damage control.
Yeah,
right?
It's almost like it sounds like they're doing like, oh, you're an asshole if you were to wrestle again because we gave you this retirement. It's like it was kind of this off-putting comment, and I found that kind of strange. And he said some weird things recently too involving WWE and tribalism and all that stuff, but I just thought that was interesting of like, oh, they're trying to like between that and Triple H, it sounds like they're kind of muddying his name a little bit there. And
we know as well he's filed like the trademark for Phenomenal One and that kind of thing. Now,
yeah,
that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to wrestle. It could be, you know, the Phenomenal One podcast or
like, okay,
whatever.
so
like it.
Yeah, what I was saying,
something to note as well.
Like I was someone who's like, like fuck it, like. We've seen other wrestlers. We just saw Ciampa this week, who's like, fuck it, I want to just wrestle. Like, AEW looks cool. I have no disrespect for WWE. Not a bad thing to say. I just want to wrestle. And I kind of appreciate that, right? Like, that's just the guy's being honest. He's not being like a negative dude towards WWE. He's just like, I just wanted to fucking wrestle and wrestle other people and do this while I still can. So that's mad props to that guy, because you could easily be someone who, you know, talks shit like a lot of other wrestlers and stuff. So
I believe AJ made comments as well about like, you know, a list of people he'd like to work with again. Right. And, you know, that could just mean Nakamura and CM Punk, but like you could see it as more than that.
So I've been like, it was definitely like last year where I'm like, oh my God, you know, all in Texas, AJ, please leave I think it was a year ago when there was the contract stuff that came up. So clearly maybe he signed a 1 year. I don't know the logistics and read all that stuff, but I feel like I was so, oh my God, it's going to happen. We got to see this. And then I gave up on that pipe dream. And then it wasn't until this storyline with Gunther, I'm like, but you're saying there's a chance that he could. So he's got the trademark. He said in interviews that his favorite song is Demigods. So maybe the demigods and angry ghosts are awakened. He can get ready to fly. He already did that one last time in TNA by coming out and saying, hey, enjoy the show. But like, is it crazy for me to put my tinfoil hat back on or put my AJ gloves back on and go, fuck it? Maybe, you know, maybe you do one more run, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year contract where you would get paid a lot. Like,
okay,
significantly more than what you were making just to wrestle a few times. Remember Kurt Angle was like, yeah, Tony Khan wanted me to wrestle and I asked him for so much money and he turned me down. It's like, yeah, but like, you're
Kurt
old.
Angle couldn't move though.
Yeah,
right?
you're
like,
old.
It's
so the tinfoil hat on.
Like, I
want
AJ
AJ
says
wrestling.
this is his last year.
You think
Like,
this is his last year?
I hold on to that as something I do believe, but I think Tony is someone who would love to have AJ Styles there, and to just come in and do even if it's a per date, like, you know, an X amount of dates thing, freed up a lot of money with Jericho not being an AEW.
Exactly.
You know, could you be like, you're coming in, you're doing, you're working with Brian Keith on Collision, and then you're doing, you know, you do the Ospreay match, you do the Kenny match, you do a Moxie match, maybe.
Danielson. Oh yeah,
you do all the big matches and end at World's End, and that's his career. You save maybe Kenny for Wembley or Ospreay for Wembley or something like that. You've got a big match there. They dump a whole load of money at him. He gets those dream matches out the way. Maybe I don't see the TNA thing. That's something.
TNA, like, you just look at that show. Like I said, we talked about it just last week or whatever that debut was, which he opened the show, and we joked it looked like he was forced to be there. It looked like they had a gun to his head, like, you better fucking go out there and say these nice things about our show. And I
feel if he wanted to wrestle again in TNA and wanted to wrestle Leon Slater, that would have happened
right
in this month or last month or whatever. You know, they'd have done that because of the partnership. I don't see him leaving WWE to then go and do something with TNA. That just seems
demotion. It's just like, I don't know. I watched that AMC show, and it's like, you don't think that would be a place where wrestlers want to go wrestle there? That sounds really disrespectful, but like, I watched that show and I can't imagine being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do my last year of wrestling and we're gonna get dream matches where AJ fights Moose and the system or like whatever. Like, no way. Like, if that is a shame. Like, that would be, I don't want to see AJ versus Top Dollar. You know what I mean? I want to see AJ versus Kenny Omega. I want to see AJ teaming up with the Bucks one more time. I want to see that. And it sounds crazy, as I said, like when I was talking about All in Texas, AJ. I guess I'm gonna do what does Jey Uso do? We're gonna run it back, because AJ Styles, Wembley Stadium, book it, TK, get it done. Buy the song. He's got the license for the logo and the name and everything. We only need him doing a few more matches. But AJ was a professional wrestler before WWE, and he doesn't need to end his career in WWE. So this is all speculation at this point. This is literally a day removed from the Royal Rumble. I hope that was not the end. And the boy put the gloves back on, so it can't be the end. So AJ, do the right thing for your family, for your fans, and wrestle Kenny Omega. Just do it. Screw the TNA community. Just come to AEW with your friend. Just do it one time. I just need one match. Just do Wembley, and that's it. Ospreay. Yeah. Like, Kenny, like, literally swear. There's a lot of people I would want to watch him wrestle. And I just think over the last few, I think it was the Cena match that all of a sudden I was like, man, like, this guy shouldn't retire yet. Yeah, you shouldn't retire yet. You're actually like still really good. And watching this past run, it's been the most interested I've been in WWE in so long, just the last few weeks with this Gunther AJ. And it's all about a guy leaving. And it's interesting because when you ask people, oh, what's some of your favorite characters or moments or matches, storylines in the history of wrestling? CM Punk leaving was one of the biggest storylines ever. And the dude came back and then came back again later. And it's just funny that they made this seem like one of the biggest stories, and then the guy's actually leaving. Like, it's hard to believe. But again, I will believe it when I see it. If we hear demigods at, I don't know, Revolution, Dynasty, AJ Styles shows up at one of these shows, I'll cry. I'll buy a pair of gloves so that we can wear the gloves together. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how
there's somewhere.
You have more pairs. Yeah. They'll sell AEW ones. That won't be as good quality as the WWE ones, but they'll still be good. They'll still be good. Okay. So AJ, do the right thing. Just wrestle Kenny Omega just one time. Look at Kenny, man. He looked great this week too. So Andrade, there's so many wrestlers that AJ, these dudes looked up to you and you could still teach them a thing or two. So don't go out like that. We need to see you, AJ. Maybe he didn't tell them he was putting the gloves back on in that moment, right? That there's a chance. Again, speculating here. Maybe they're like, all right, take your gloves off and you get your moment. And then he was like Brett doing the WCW, just putting his gloves back on. But I like the match. This year definitely made me realize, AJ, you will be missed when you leave wrestling. And after watching yesterday, I hope that is not the end. And if it is, hey, he had a great year. We're going to go do some shows in the next few weeks covering the career of AJ and going through a lot of his best matches. Because if you've not watched some of his stuff in the past, you should, and you'll realize why he's such a prominent figure. And all the respect. I can't believe this is the end, but all the power to AJ, and hopefully we get to see him wrestle in the squared circle again, not the 6-sided ring.
Well, let's move on. We then had Drew McIntyre defending the Undisputed WWE Championship against Sami Zayn. Yes,
the boy who cried wolf for me. The Sami Zayn's going to do it. He's going to win the big one. And then he doesn't. But there's always next year, right? You had a good call. I don't know, Sami, you said Sami should lose and then win the Rumble. And I think that would have been such a story, but I don't think it's Sami's time quite yet. I don't think he fits into this WrestleMania as a world champion.
My problem is I don't think it will be now. It's
too many times.
It should have been a couple of years ago, right? And obviously they didn't want to sacrifice the Roman's reign for Sami. They were holding out till Cody, and I just feel like Sami Zayn. I love Sami Zayn. He's still incredibly popular. But we were talking last week. It's not just the noise isn't there like it used to be. He was over in Saudi. He wasn't mega over in Saudi. And I felt that with this match. I didn't think this match was bad at all, but I wasn't really buying anything they were selling me with it. Yeah.
The boy who cried wolf is nah, I don't believe this is happening. I think as much as the crowd there they almost treat him like a hometown. I didn't feel the buzz was there for that. The same time that we've seen him in the past. So like you mentioned, you were at the Elimination Chamber in Montreal when he was against Roman, and then last week or whatever, Saturday's main event, it sounded different. Maybe people moved on from the character. Maybe they feel the same way of well, you keep dangling this carrot of Sami Zayn being the guy. We like him, but you're clearly not going with him. So you think you mentioned earlier also thinking of bad rumbles, right? And I think of when Roman Reigns won the back in the day.
Yeah,
not today, but
when
the one
the
from
Rock
before
comes out
where
and endorses him, and
when the Rock came out, when was that Rey Mysterio coming out at 30 and getting booed, and then Roman ended up winning, right? I think that's the same one. And it's people were just why aren't you going with Daniel Bryan? But then eventually they did. And I still think Sami Zayn by the end of his career will be in some way, whether it's the WWE champion or world champion. I think we'll get at least a run. How could you not? But I wasn't necessarily expecting it for this Rumble or this WrestleMania. But there is next year, and WrestleMania being in Saudi next year, maybe that's the story. They treat him like a hometown hero. Maybe, that's something you can capitalize there. That could be pretty cool. But I wasn't as into this match as previous Sami Zayn matches. Like you said, it wasn't a bad match by any means, but I just didn't find myself believing. And you know what? Even we've been doing watch parties and stuff for years now. Sami Zayn being Canadian and we do events in Canada usually is one of the biggest reactions. Everyone was not paying attention to this match.
I feel as well it's Drew's already got his story beyond Sami going on. He's got this Jacob Fatu and Cody feud happening. So they're already looking beyond Sami at this point. So it just, Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Sami's a great performer. He's great on the mic. Like, he could win us over, but it will need to be some strong creative. And I think you need to start it quite early for the push for next Mania for it to feel believable. And I really hope it happens. It does feel like it's like diminishing each time.
Yeah.
And I think Drew is just super hot right now. As this heel, as the champion, I think it feels fresh. And I don't really think people necessarily want to see Drew drop it right now.
No, I think the one fumble of last year was Drew was the sacrificial lamb in the Punk feud. And now when I watch Punk again, I'm on, this is my own opinion, I'm not interested in him as much. And now I'm seeing finally they pick up where Drew was, right? Like, I felt like the Punk feud got so juicy and made Drew like the next evolution of Drew to where he is. And then they kind of just put him back on the back burner until now, right? So it's almost like they realize, oh wait, this guy's actually, we can go more with him. So he continues to get even better, which is how wrestling should work. You should continue to evolve and get in, like, you know, oh, if you're getting older and you can't do certain moves, then you do other things and stuff. And I think Drew, let alone his social media presence, he might be the best. He might be my favorite on Twitter in wrestling. He's just absolute maniac, and I love it. But his presentation, like, look at this dude. Like, I love Sami Zayn, one of my favorites. Do not take this the wrong way, anyone. But look at Sami Zayn, and then look at Drew McIntyre. Yeah. What is the Vince Airport test? Like, I'm just saying, look at this fucking guy. Like, he looks like he would kill people and be the champion. So I want to see this run go on to WrestleMania, but I can't quite figure out what the match is. And the more I think about it, maybe Roman Drew might be the way to go. But I don't know. Is that it?
I don't think we're going that way.
No.
I think we're going Roman Punk,
Yeah.
which is a big match, but feels less than because we had the three-way last year. You know, if this was the first time they were interacting in this run of CM Punk, I think this would feel bigger. But it's still a huge match, like CM Punk versus Roman.
Okay, but so then we have Elimination Chamber. So the winner of that can face Drew. So Sami Zayn will win the Chamber and face Drew to lose at WrestleMania.
I think we're getting a triple threat.
Cody?
I think Cody, Fatu, and Drew. I think that's the direction we're going. And whether you do it where you could have now, Cody can't get a title match unless it's won through like the Rumble or Elimination Chamber. Like Drew said, there was a clause like no automatic rematch and all that. So Cody has to win. You could do Jacob versus Drew at Chamber for the title and have Drew cheat or something, which has Jacob inserted in the match. Cody as like the valiant baby face is like, fuck it, I'll fight both of you for this. I see that being the direction they're going just because that's the story that's being told at the moment. Or whether we blow that match up at Elimination Chamber and go somewhere different. But right now, that I would say a triple threat for Drew's title and Punk Roman for the world title.
Like, judging of what happens later in the Rumble, you would imagine that match is at the Chamber. Like, he still probably is defending unless Fatu and Cody are in the Chamber.
Or, Drew defends it in the Chamber. That's another option. You know, rather than doing it as the number one contender spot, like Drew defends in the Chamber and then...
But then...
Like, I don't think you've already done the 3 stages of hell match with Drew and Cody. They've been feuding since what, like October, September? Like, it's been a long feud and pretty much the only feud since Cody won the title, right?
Yeah.
So to drag that onto Mania for just another match, I don't know. I don't think the singles match makes sense. I like the idea of Roman and Drew. I've quite enjoyed their last couple of matches they've had and feels fresh. I just they feel like on completely different pages at the moment.
I think Cody's winning the Chamber. And I think they're literally just going to go Drew Cody one more time. Like, Cody is one of the still, like, what does he call himself? The quarterback. He still feels like he's a main event Drew, Cody. I don't necessarily want to see it, but like I feel like the story saying, Cody, you have to win an opportunity means, okay, bet I'll go win it then.
Yeah.
So
that's
like
I
you
think
saying
Cody,
that makes me go, oh, he's winning the chamber then.
Yeah, I think Cody wins chamber. I think Jacob gets cheated in the match and therefore deserves a rematch, and that's how we get there.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I could see that. I could see that. And then I think Drew should retain. Fuck it. Keep Drew champion for a while. But I'm trying to think of like other juicy stories you could do for Drew of like what other character we've kind of already played out the Cody stuff. Is Fatu necessarily ready to be in that championship position this early? I'm not sure. I mean, he's pretty popular, but I'm not sure if that's something that they would go right away. But I can't think of other like main people.
Like Randy again, but that feud's been done a lot, and I think we did see that recently. Like we've ruled out Sami at this point.
I mean, you had like what felt like years now of Randy Orton staring at Cody's title, only for him not to be champion. So like one day we'll probably get Cody Randy Orton at a WrestleMania, but don't know if that'll be anytime soon. But you know, also AJ stared at Kaz's TNA Championship, so that could also not lead anywhere too. But
he was like, "What is that?"
No, I hope that's not where we go. That would be such a shame. But anyways, yeah. Should we go into the men's rumble? Because that might bring in some more conversation about what happens at WrestleMania. But the main event, the men's 2026 Royal Rumble. We started things off. Okay, so I saw on SmackDown the graphics guy fucked up the first fuck up of many, where was it like Axiom or Frazier or someone came out and it says Royal Rumble entrant number 1, Braun Breaker. So everyone who watched that, who was smart enough to find that online, was trying to rig their Rumble pools for the next day of like, how do I get the number 1? Yeah, I'll get number 1. Just give me number 1 because maybe Braun Breaker could win it. But unfortunately, they then switched that because they don't like when that remember that happened a few years ago. I think they announced it was
Edge and Randy starting, right?
Yeah, so they
you drew one of them, I think.
Is that when I won?
I think Edge said he was number 1 and you drew number 2 and you were like, oh man, I wanted Edge. And then Edge actually came out number 2 and Randy's number 1 and you won it. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
I think that was the last time I won my Rumble pool, but that was many years ago. So Obafemi comes out as number 1, which we said we walked around the bar doing the Obafemi walk, but that meant Braun Breaker was number 2. But before he could even really get to the ring, he was attacked by a mystery man. Oh yes, they love their masked mystery men in WWE. All black, everything, face mask, except for the facial hair. You could see a little beard, a little goatee or something. So who was it? So he beats up Braun and then he put him back in the ring and then he got thrown out. So he got
I quite like this for the start of the Rumble. I think it was shocking because I think a lot saw Braun being, some were calling for him to win, others were like, final 4 at least. And you see someone as athletic as him starting and you go, oh, this is going to be the Iron Man. So I like this, and this was one of the few things on the show where, okay, we're setting up the Mania match from this. And
okay, who was
we all assume it's Seth, right? But is that too obvious?
Like, it looked like Logan Paul.
Theory,
it looked like Logan Paul. So, however,
okay,
something I noticed and I forgot about, but yesterday, when he comes out and he hits Braun from behind, and then he does the stomp, which is obviously Seth's move. But after he does the stomp, he does the Moxley neck pose.
See that. Yeah,
you see that, like the neck thing
moving around like that.
So his arms that was clearly like a little like, ooh, let's like throw a monkey wrench in there and see if people bite on that. But I think it was Logan Paul or Theory, either of those two guys, clearly. So
I could see it being a bit of a Scream situation where we have multiple.
Which Theory is done in NXT, literally.
And maybe we have it like exactly. So we have the team of Seth, Logan, and Theory are together, and then you have like Heyman, Braun, and Bronson as the other thing. So can spin off. So then you get like tag matches in that and things. But this is leading to Seth versus Braun at Mania, I assume.
Yeah. I think Seth versus Braun, if Seth is back and okay and stuff like that. I guess this injury wasn't a work at all. But Seth Braun makes sense. It's just funny because it's like they're doing this masked character thing, like it's continuing on with this Vision stuff, and it's just funny. I feel like they're all doing this to set up. If you remember, it was Gargano in theory. They were doing the Scream mask in NXT, all to build up to Austin being like, "It was me, Austin.
Yeah,
it was me, Austin. It was me, Austin." He just kept repeating. And it's like, I bet you they do that again. I bet you they'll have him say that again when it's revealed. That But shocking start to the men's Rumble. Braun Breaker gets taken out. So you didn't even really get to see Braun and Oba really go at it because he was thrown out pretty much instantly.
Which I heard people were disappointed. They were like, "Oh man, I wanted this Hoss fight," but I kind of like that we haven't seen it yet. That they're saving it for a bigger thing.
So Oba Femi was in there, and I think he goes on for like 40 minutes or something. But he was like in this match. He had a few eliminations, but he definitely stood out because I feel like if you knew him, you're like, oh, that's cool, finally integrating. I know they had the vignettes and stuff, but seeing him in the Rumble, and then if you didn't know who he was, you were like, yo, who is this big dude? Yeah. This guy's a beast. So I feel like this was a strong. It sucks when you debut someone in the Rumble because then like they got to lose, but I think this set up something much bigger for WrestleMania plans, maybe Brock Lesnar, as we'll get to. But I was shocked to see Rey Mysterio. I thought he had gotten hurt from Monday Night Raw. So I don't know if he is. Reported
that he'd been cleared.
But like he was only in
there
this
that long.
Like 2 minutes. So he could be hurt. And he was like, yeah, I still want that.
I like that they gave Oba this spot, the clearing the ring spot. I thought he looked great in there. This was one of the things where I thought production was a little off though. Like I feel him getting eliminated by Brock didn't feel as big a deal as it should have been.
They like missed it.
Similarly, Brock being eliminated by LA Knight.
Yeah, that's what they missed. Yeah.
Just happened during Jey Uso's yeeting and just felt like I missed it. I legit missed it because
you were eating.
Where's Brock? And I was busy eating. Just weird. And I think a bit backwards. If you're setting up Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar, I think it should have been Oba Femi eliminating Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. You had Oba eliminating him, right? So it's like, no, sorry, you had Brock
eliminated Oba. Yeah,
Brock eliminated Oba, and then LA Knight eliminated Brock, but then you kind of missed it because they were focusing on Jey Uso making his entrance for like 5 minutes, and then repeating it and all that stuff. So that kind of sucked. There were, like you said, there were so many little things. The graphics were like entrant number 1 for like 10 different people. The countdowns were off for some of the things. The graphics were all over the place. So it's just, it's weird because like I work in TV and I don't work for something as big as a thing as WWE. And sometimes where I work, the channels I work at, we have little graphic fumbles and little mistakes, or someone's mic isn't on or whatever. But when you're not used to seeing that happen, like on such a tight production, that's what makes it stand out more of like, oh, they're making a lot of mistakes. It's not just one. It's like constantly like
it's weird. Graphics, like the amount of mistakes in this past week with WWE, it's very unlike them.
Like, is it new people? Is it like, you're trying to train people? I don't know.
I feel maybe they got a crew over there rather than bringing their usual people.
Maybe, but like clearly this was like not the usual. I'd say WWE usually don't run a sloppy shop when it comes to like production and stuff, but it did feel a little off. And while on that subject, I didn't like the look of the stadium with those lights in the crowd. It almost made it look like they were empty for some reason.
I thought this with the Intuit Dome as well, the Clippers arena where they had Netflix. Like it looks cool for things like entrances and stuff when you've got all the lights being, the wrestler's color. But during matches, it makes it look empty. And then you've seen all the photos from other angles. They're like, no, it's packed. Like so many people are here. But I don't like this look for stadiums.
Wouldn't that be distracting? I haven't encountered this in person, but like the lights are there. I'm like, that's kind of weird. We had Matt Cardona coming back to a Royal Rumble. He's been in a bunch back in the day. He didn't last very long though, making it less than a minute.
Did you hear he said he's had gear made for every Rumble since his departure, just in case they give him the call?
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, he
nerd.
Look, believe in your dreams, I guess. Like, was it dress
he's
for
always
the job
ready.
you want?
He's always ready.
He's always have your gear in your car. So always ready, Matt Cardona. It's cool that he's back in WWE. He doesn't need to be WWE champion or whatever, but like it's fine to have him back. Damian Priest, I think, got the like if you talk about biggest pops of the night being Brie Bella, which is funny, or I don't know, other people, Oba. I can't think of other big pops of like, okay, maybe Roman or Brock or whoever, but Damian Priest, I feel like gets no pop when he comes out. Like I like Damian Priest. I just find I don't know what his character is or the evolution or whatnot, but I feel for him.
Like there was that interview recently where he was like, you know, I'm getting older, my body hurts. And he basically said I enjoy taking these like little breaks where I'm not wrestling as much and stuff. And I think it sacrificed him being just a top guy now. He had his run, like good for him. He was world champion for a little bit. Wasn't the greatest run in the world. The moment at WrestleMania 40 was cool. And that's the peak. But yeah, like I'm the same. I like Damian Priest. I actually thought his last man standing match against Aleister Black was pretty fun on SmackDown the other week. But it was same in Montreal and it was same here. Just no reaction. And I don't really blame people either. Like, because I can't say I'd be losing my mind if Damian Priest came out.
I just find since the Drew and then what Judgment Day stuff, I just feel like the character, he's just kind of drifting around. There's not really any story or progression or even character evolution of just, I know he likes purple and
yeah,
he was cool in NXT. He was hanging out in hot tubs and shit. So like maybe a character, like not change, but like a step, maybe he's better in a faction or a tag team or something. That could be like something that refreshes him.
Yeah, I mean, that's when he's getting reactions now, is just whenever he's with Rhea.
Yeah. And they work good together. Like, he's good. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know. Like, they haven't made us, they don't give us a reason to be excited about him.
I feel he's Bailey. He's like Bailey of the men's division.
Yeah. It's like, hey, we know you're good. It's just like
very solid. Everyone likes them, but I'm not getting excited about a Bailey match in 2026 or a Priest match.
We had Javon Evans, who was he the Iron Man in this? In the men's? I forget because we gave away prizes.
Was
someone who because of Iron Man.
I'll have a look.
Okay, I have the Wikipedia open. Let me look here. I think it was Javon Evans, 40 minutes, 58 seconds. Oba was 39. So yes, Javon Evans was the longest.
Javon outlasted Oba, right?
I think so, but he was in after him, but still, yeah.
I thought a missed opportunity to do the spot we've seen in NXT a couple of times where Oba just launches him out the ring onto the announce table. I think that, like, you want to get both guys over. Javon just doing this crazy spot, but also the sheer brute strength of Oba Femi. I really thought that was going to be a moment in this match.
We had Mr. Iguana. Was that a big enough moment for you?
No.
Instead, yeah. Mr. Iguana is like really fun the first time you see it. And when someone's first time seeing it, they're like, oh, an iguana? Whoa, that's cool. Wrestling is so colorful and funny and wacky. And then you watch it a few more times. They're like, all right, put the puppet away. Let's wrestle. So he was in there for 2 minutes. I was the right amount of time.
I felt him and La Parka just like I'd have sacrificed them for just for Steve Blackman, for some nostalgia pop. Like, these were wasted slots. And like Finn Balor should quite rightly be pissed that they didn't have room in the Rumble for him, but La Parka III was able to get a spot. That the Iguana guy.
Not my La Parka.
Yeah. He's good. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's good. Just like you talked about the anti-pop for Damian Priest. I think it was even less.
Yeah, okay, that might have been the worst reaction for people. It sounded like it. People were just like, oh, what? Because then you have some people, like I said, who maybe watched WCW or whatever back in the day who were like, oh shit, and then you realize, wait, did first of all, is how does he move like that? And first of all, he looks a little skinny to be La Parka. Where's the chair? Where's Thriller? Where's taking just because he's a skinny guy wearing a La Parka mask? It's like
he didn't even do the like cross-legged dance.
He can kind of do it, but yeah,
it's not the hardest move in the world.
Well, someone who did get a big reaction, as we talked about, Trick Williams.
Oh yeah,
whoop that trick is easy. Like wrestling, you just need something to cheer and chant and sing along to, and you have a career like for years. Like look at the Yeeting, like as an example. Look at LA Knight, yeah. Look at Daniel Bryan, yes. And now this guy's got whoop that trick. He is not my favorite in-ring wrestler. He is not the best worker, but oh my God, Trick Williams should be WWE champion, like down the line, like
100%.
This guy's got charisma, machismo. He looks it, like he looks the part. Like it's actually really cool to see this guy like get over as quickly as he is. I honestly, theme songs and shit like that really help you get over with the WWE audience. But I thought for the short amount of time he was in there for like less than 10 minutes, but there was like Trick, Oba, and Javon had the moment there where it was like the stand and deliver main event from last year, right? So the three of them,
there was a really
cool.
nice moment. Like people criticize Triple H of not being able to like book black wrestlers, but you had this moment where you had like 5, I think, in the ring at the same time, because you had Trick, you had Oba, you had Javon, you had Royce Keys, you had Cody Rhodes. It was really nice to see.
Yeah. For the culture, Cody Rhodes. I thought that was a great moment. Trick, Oba, and Javon, kind of, again, a snapshot of NXT, but a snapshot of the future of WWE going forward. Like these 3 guys could definitely be tangling up. So I hope one day, maybe not a WrestleMania, but sometime a triple threat between the 3 of them.
Like they're positioned as the future. And I think this spot, like I always like the moment with the final 4 where you've got, normally it's like 2 veterans and 2 up and comers in the end.
Yeah.
But I thought this kind of was that moment earlier in the match. It was, as you said, this was the stand and deliver main event last year. They're all now on the main roster. And I felt this was like, look at these guys. These are the future of this company. And
yeah,
there are definitely worse people you can back. Like Javon, just his wrestling is insane and so fresh to watch. And Oba, just the new beast. Like he should be the Brock Lesnar of this company moving forward. And then Trick, who's just like, he's the Rock, you know, he's just so smooth on the mic, so electrifying.
Good contrast, like, the 3 of them. Yeah. It's like, okay, Trick, the fancy talker, nice dressed, you know, smooth operator. Javon, the high flying young guy, and then the big powerhouse of Oba. It is a big 3 of like cool contrast. So that I really like that. I know we cover NXT and stuff, and we've been up and down with certain things from NXT, but and Trick, we definitely have always said like, his wrestling always could, always room for improvement, but you cannot deny the star power. And I think we've said, even maybe not his first few times on NXT, but especially in the last year or 2, of like, he might even be better talker than people on the main roster. And now he is on the main roster. So it was cool that he was there and seeing the reaction. Cody Rhodes, he came in after that. He was in there for quite a while, 36 minutes, 50 seconds. I believe it was Drew who will eventually.
That's right. Drew pulled him over, did like the Hogan Sid spot.
He did it just to do it. He just, that's how big of a hater Drew's character is. He's like, you know what? I'm going to come out and just make sure you don't win. So that's what makes me also believe that Cody will go on to win the chamber, to be like, no, there you go. You're trying to figure out a way. You were saying a way to get to Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, and Drew McIntyre in triple threat. What you do is Drew, once again, being the player hater of the year, and then gets involved in the chamber. Therefore, Jacob wins it. But then they're like, no, Cody, you're also in the match. I think that's how we get to that route that you kind of said earlier. We had El Grande Americano come out, and then it's a double Americano. Isn't that your order in the morning? Did you order one today?
I had my quad. Yes.
A quad.
Yeah.
Americano. Well, we had 2, a double, because we got the Spider-Man meme in person. 2 Americanos in one ring. I was waiting for like 6 other dudes in masks come out at this point. We're going to get guerrilla warfare of Americano, Team Americano 1 versus Team Americano 2.
I can't wait to see the Creeds as Bravo and Bravo. I just think it'll be so funny. For me, what makes this funny is the fact that they don't look alike at all. You know, it's not like they found the person who closest resembles Chad Gable. They just got someone so much taller, skinnier. Chad Gable looked fucking jacked.
Oh my god!
By the way,
chicken and rice. Holy, he looked like he ate Chad Gable, and he had a little beard. Yep. Maybe that wasn't Chad Gable.
Maybe. It looked like someone had squashed like Bron Breakker. You know, if you just pushed him down,
he looked like yoked.
I thought like we kind of predicted this moment would happen. I didn't think it necessarily played off as well as it could have been. I thought this could have maybe done more. The crowd didn't really respond to it. Maybe this was okay. It would have maybe got over bigger in America or something. I don't know, but fun moment. But I don't think it necessarily reached the height it could have.
Yeah, that's fair. Like it was funny, but like I definitely think we will get the trios of the two teams against each other, and then a mask v mask. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
But then once you do that, what the hell is Tyler Bate and Peter Dunne gonna do?
Just coach.
This is the most over they've been.
Yeah.
Is that crazy? Like they're such good wrestlers, but like they've never had something that like can connect. But then they wrestle under lucha masks and they're fire. It's like what? It's so weird. But yeah, that was funny. And then the music hit. Did this not sound like his AEW theme? This is the first time WWE, at least main roster, gave Powerhouse Hobbs the Hideo Itami Finn Balor treatment.
Yeah, like giving the name and then it disappeared. They did it with Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder,
well, right? Yeah.
Right. So Royce Keys.
Royce Keys.
Now, of course, we're wrestling fans, so we have to complain about the name change. Apparently, this is a mixture of his family's name and his mother maid's name, or
isn't it his son is called Royce and his mother's maiden name is Keys? I think so, something like that.
It's a name. I'm sure we'll get over it. Powerhouse Hobbs wasn't necessarily the greatest name either. I didn't think he got a big reaction, but I don't know if a lot of these fans necessarily knew who he was. So that's also fair. But they gave him a grand entrance because that pyro was insane. Did Cody hook him up with the pyro guy? Because this was like, look at him. It's like explosions.
Yeah, I thought again this would have been a bigger reaction in the States. I don't know how viewership for AEW is in Saudi Arabia, but they gave him the presentation. Like at least from the sound isn't necessarily as good watching it in the bar with 100 people there. The reaction with us was pretty big. Like they're in the room. There were a lot of people that clearly knew who Hobbs was and were pretty excited to see him. And I'd say he's got to be main roster. I don't think you do a debut like this. And as you said, with all the pyro for him to just go and help Ricky Saints on Tuesday. Like I feel he's main roster bound. And I thought they presented him well.
Like it would be fun. He could still show up on NXT to help Ricky, but I don't know. After presenting him like this, I wouldn't necessarily see that as the case. But we've been pretty high on him in the last year, 2 years in AEW. He's definitely talking about evolution and getting better. And this guy is totally improved. And if you hear interviews of all these other wrestlers, everyone loves this guy. This guy comes across as such a nice dude
and had a pretty great year. That Hangman match especially it showed what he's really capable of. And I'd be interested where they slot him in. Where would you put him, Raw or SmackDown?
Well, he shows up in the match and he has a moment with Cody. And I mean, I would imagine Cody might be part of the reason he got here to WWE because Cody's it was the Nightmare Factory and all that stuff.
Yep.
Way back. So there's definitely a connection there. But I like that stare down. It felt like the AEW is better at developmental than NXT is for WWE. Look at the top people that they use the AEW version. that fits right into WWE is like this fresh new character. It's just like the AEW presentation. It is kind of funny, but it works. So why would this guy is good, and I hope we can see him rise up and become a bigger star than he was in AEW possibly. So I think this was a weird place to debut him. Just simply he didn't get a pop, but maybe the pyro and that kind of helped cover that. But I hope going forward we can see him. Maybe SmackDown, maybe Raw. I don't know where it's tough bringing people in around this time because it's like you're going to be in Mania and like what are you going to be doing and all that. But
I mean, for now, you could maybe put him in the like US title mix and do it as a ladder match, maybe.
True.
At Mania.
Some multi-person thing, but he was in there for like 10 minutes. I think it was Bronson Reed who eventually came out. You had Theory come out after, and then Bronson Reed. So then they were working together, throwing people out, and then they threw out Royce Keys.
Keys.
I guess if you do it like that, it could be, you could chant it. Royce. Yeah. Keys. Wrestling fans need like 2 syllables, 1 syllables.
Yeah. Everyone will just, Royce Keys is all they'll do. Fucking lazy cunts.
Speaking of, did you see the one guy in the crowd? I don't even think they are allowed signs at these Saudi shows, but it was outside the venue. Someone had this sign, and it kind of went viral on Twitter of like, Saudi loves AEW, all in Saudi 2027. Not yet, but hey, GCW might do Saudi, so who knows? Ilya Dragunov came out also. Cool to see him tie up with certain people that we haven't, including Brock Lesnar, who just threw Ilya out. So are we going to that match? Can we do that? Ilya?
Yeah, this was a shame. Like Brock completely no selling Ilya's chops and then just dumping him out. I think just undid so much work they've done with Ilya with this US title run and stuff. Just it's you're getting over, we'll put you in your place. I hated this moment, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I was like, there's a few no selling things. Was there like Cody? I think LA Knight hits him with like a scorpion death drop, and Cody just gets up, and then LA Knight goes up and then eliminates him.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work for me, brother, and just throws him out. But yeah, like I'm over Brock for multiple reasons, and then throwing out Ilya like that was kind of like, okay.
I feel if Brock's back, like having him here to put over, like to do the Ober match, to do the Braun match, and to do the Gunther match. That's what I want to see out of him, and all of that feels fresh. I don't need to see him, murdering our indie darlings, if you will, or in a Rumble. Like I'm not interested in that.
Like look at the John Cena thing that pissed people off so much.
Yeah,
and it did not need to happen at all, and it just did, and it sucked. But Brock Royce Keys, that's gonna take some time. There's a few matches. Like if Brock's gonna retire soon, do some of these ones and do what Undertaker gave to him. Give him something, like someone. Fuck Gunther, retire Brock Lesnar at this point. Like give that to someone of like, I don't know. Has Brock run its course, or are we just like the Brock haters of like, again, a few different reasons, but just as a fan is like, hey, this guy's been stale and he's not necessarily been good.
I mean, if the rumors are true and he ends in like his career in Minneapolis at SummerSlam, I'm okay with these 8 months we're getting. I'm with you. It has run its course. I just want to see something fresh. I don't want to see him coming back to just feud with Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I want to see him give the newer, bigger guys, like we said, a list of people that he could fight that could be interesting. So, but shouldn't he retire like in his hometown?
Yeah,
somewhere in Saskatchewan. Did he have the Canadian flag when he came out on his graphic? I don't think it did. When he fought in the UFC, he came out as Canadian. He literally hunts moose with probably his bare hands. So I could imagine him. He's Canadian as far as I'm concerned. But you guys can have him back. The Miz, I was very excited about that. Ray Phoenix, who you swore had Penta's Titantron.
I'm pretty sure it said Penta. I might be wrong. A couple of other people said the same. Yeah.
You were like, oh, it's no, it's not. Jey Uso came out, yeeted for like 5 minutes, and then they had the moment with Roman Reigns where Roman says, oh, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. And then what? Roman threw him out.
Yeah.
Big bloodline lore continuing on here. I didn't necessarily. I don't
think this was leading to anything. I think it was more just like a lull moment.
Yeah, the Usos, I guess, should just stay as tag champs. But Jay, like, you look, the people yeeting and stuff is big and gets a huge reaction and all that. But I don't know. And then the bell.
Yeah, so is the Fandango.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's definitely run its course, I think, for me personally. But Roman Reigns comes out at 26, breaking the 27 club, I guess. People who had 27 were probably really mad in their Rumble pools. I mean, you got Jacob Fatu at 27, but still, I think Roman Reigns was the sure bet winner. A lot of people saw him winning, which he goes on to win. Penta, Randy, and Gunther were the last three to come out. And then who were in the final four? So you had Roman, who then threw out Jay.
Logan was in there, wasn't he?
Oh yeah,
I think Javon was right at the end.
Dragon Lee, I skipped over. La Parka we mentioned as well. Like, you had some big eliminations. Gunther was throwing people out, but then I think it was Gunther and Roman were the final two.
Gunther and Roman were final two.
Yeah. So Roman wins.
Gunther's been final two, 2 or 3 times now, I think.
And he's never won.
Yeah.
Okay, he'll win one day, but yeah, wasn't the most exciting Rumble. There were some disappointments of like, okay, Iguana is funny and popular, I guess, enough, but I don't know, like you said Finn Balor's on Monday is like, dude, it's full. Like, I'm an active member of the roster. Why did you let the guy with the puppet in the Rumble? Like,
I mean, I assume it's Punk and Balor in Chicago.
Yeah.
But still. Yeah, like, and also there was just weird things. I know they're always kind of liberal with the liberal in WWE. No, I know they're normally liberal with the times, but there were some entrances that were like 30 seconds after. Like,
right.
They were rushing through some in both the men's and the women's. Roman Reigns winning isn't particularly exciting. He's Roman Reigns. You can look, what was the main event last year? It was Roman, Seth, and Punk, not for a title. Like, you can write a main event for Roman Reigns. He doesn't necessarily need to win the Royal Rumble to go on to that. And the fact that we've not had any of him talking, like, it was just on Raw, just a video of Roman will be in Saudi Arabia at the Rumble. It didn't feel very big. Like, it doesn't particularly excite me, really. And I think you could get to a Punk versus Roman without having to do this. I know Jey Uso winning last year was polarizing, but I do like sometimes when it is a bit unpredictable and outside the box. And Roman winning it with no build at all, I found a little disappointing. It's
just funny because I think even a week ago, like we were saying, literally, I think on our predictions of preview of Rumble on Tuesday, was like our head tells us that Roman is winning this just because, like, star power, big guy, he's got nothing else. We're gonna plan something around Mania. He still is a big star. He is, of course. But like, our hearts were saying like Sami Zayn or all these other different picks, but we kind of knew. And then what was it? A day before the Rumble, Roman, that interview he did, I'm forgetting the show, but the clip being spread all over the place of like, we've kind of messed up the last few years. I helped them build stars and they haven't. So I guess I got to come back and be the big star. Well, I was like, okay, actually is telling us he's winning this fucking Rumble. So
yeah, saying that like Nick Khan does a great job, but creatively we need to be moving forward. Like, we can't just be resting, and which is kind of
so let's have Roman win the Rumble. Yeah. He basically was like, there's no other stars other than me. Fuck y'all. And then, of course, if you thought the AJ Styles to AEW discourse was crazy, you should see the Roman Reigns to AEW discourse.
I don't see that happening.
But yeah, Roman winning, sure, like you said, is Punk Roman. That's a big Mania match. Like, if you're not doing Punk Cody, which I think is the biggest Mania match you could do, Punk Roman is up there, if not even bigger. So fuck it, do it. Like, you know, like we did see the triple threat last year, so that is like kind of weird, but I think the singles match is the bigger match.
Yeah.
Like we said last year, it was kind of weird that Seth was in it, to be honest.
And would that be the main event, night
Yes.
2?
Yeah.
What so is bigger than that? Now Punk actually gets the main event WrestleMania.
Punk is actually wrestling in the main event and will probably lose, but he should beat Roman. But so
I think he should. I don't think Roman needs another title reign, but
no.
We'll see.
Yeah. So there you go. Is that the main event of WrestleMania? The main event, the true main event. Punk versus Roman. Is that it? And are you excited?
It's probably the biggest match you can do outside of Punk versus Cody. I think Roman Punk is probably the best match you can do.
Yeah.
And you want to do these matches while you can, because you don't know how long these guys are going to be around for, healthy or whatever.
So then what? You're doing Punk Cody next year? Because then like how long is this guy going to wrestle for?
Yeah.
Right? Like
heel Cody versus Punk, heel Punk versus Cody. I don't know. Like I feel the Cody heel turns happening sooner rather than later now.
You know, he's never going to turn heel.
No.
Like he said, he's never going to turn heel like John Cena once said, but we know how that turned out. I don't know. I feel like heel Punk would be funny because like that would have made more sense with the John Cena storyline of like being corporate Punk.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I will go to Saudi and get that fat check. Yeah, I will be a sellout. I came back to make money. I told you from the beginning, like money, and fame and all that. And then instead it's like, who is the baby face if it's Roman and Punk? Like Roman's the heel, I guess. So
I think, I'm not sure. They might just want to do it
babyface
v babyface, and you pick your sides. Both
the Zubros,
you know, like Punk has his fans, Roman has his fans. Like,
yeah,
it could be cool. Like, it could work.
Yeah. I feel like that is the biggest match. So fuck it, even though it's for the fake title. They'll make that title not fake by giving it to Punk and Roman.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that back in the day with the big gold belt. There were times when the big gold belt felt like the main title and the WWE Championship felt like the number 2. And then towards the end of its run, it definitely became the B title. But yeah, it makes that belt feel more of something, I guess.
Is there anything else coming out of this show? Is there any other matches you could see, like looking ahead for WrestleMania? Is there anything else you could see out of this? Like we mentioned, Femi, Brock Lesnar.
Oberyn Brock, yeah. Natty and Becky, is that something they're doing?
True. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. They're both heels.
I don't feel that's a Mania match, really.
Yeah.
Braun and Seth.
Yeah, or some sort of like the Vision and Braun and Seth and Theory. I'm not sure where we go with the other pieces there, but yeah, definitely Seth return, right?
Yeah,
I can't think of any other things that come to mind coming off. Like I would say Braun and Oba would be a big attraction of like, whoa, the new big Haas versus Brock and stuff, right? But Liv versus either Raquel, we're thinking, right? That's kind of.
I'm leaning that way, yeah.
Yeah. And AJ Styles versus Gunther. Career on the line one more time. See Jake in the chat saying Bianca and Jade. That's something you could do.
Bianca and Jade.
There's a chamber,
yeah,
right?
As we said, who knows with Bianca? Like it's really odd.
Yeah. Like she winning the chamber could be the way you get to that. For that
like
title.
You could go back to Tiffany and Jade. Like Tiff had a pretty big reaction coming back yesterday, and they're obviously doing the Jordan Grace feud at the moment. I don't see Jordan Grace Jade going all the way to Mania. I feel that being blown off pretty soon.
The
Bellas versus whoever the tag team is at the time.
The Bellas, Total Divas winning the tag belts and WrestleMania. That's the way to go. Like I'm not the biggest fan, but they should win the titles. Like while they are.
Why not? They've never had them before. They didn't exist when they were there.
Like I am not a Bella's defender, but you cannot. I'll always say I'm not. I don't want to watch them wrestle, but you cannot deny the effect Total Divas had on like the industry of like
For sure.
bringing in a lot of different people and not just, dudes, middle-aged dudes. It opened a lot of doors for like other people to be like, oh, what is this like wrestling thing and shit like that. So I do think they had like their footprint in a specific spot in the world of wrestling, even though I don't really want to watch them wrestle, but it's still cool. And I do think they should win the titles because that wasn't a thing when they were literally the only tag team at one point of women in WWE. So,
that was the Rumble, not the best. I think from both of us, the AJ Gunther was pretty great. But there's always talking points, coming out of the Rumble, as we said, theorizing what directions we're going in and stuff like that. And definitely helped watching it with all our friends at the National. So I had a good time with the Rumble, even though I didn't think it was particularly great.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's always fun to watch because it's the countdown and the numbers and all that stuff. But like match quality, there wasn't anything that was like, oh my God, that was amazing. I think obviously AJ Gunther was like the match of the night, but there was only 4 technically matches, but still enjoyable to watch. But I wouldn't come out of this. I think Cody, I think Roman Punk is way fresher than Cody Roman again, but I'm still not like, oh fuck, I better get my thousands of dollar tickets to go see that match in Vegas. Like, I'm just not like, both of those guys aren't necessarily my favorite. So it's not like maybe for me, but they are star power. And I say that is probably the biggest match you could do. So
we also didn't have Jericho come out. Were you surprised no Jericho on the show?
Yeah, I think as we were getting down to the final people, we were like mathematically like, okay, Gunther's in this thing. Okay, La Parka's in this thing. Who else has been announced? That kind of left no spots. Like we were like, wait, if there's 3 people, who's out? Randy comes out. We're like, oh shit, it can't be anyone. There was no room for him. So yeah, I think that was a bit of a shock. Actually, maybe he shows up
showing up
in TNA. The number 2 company. He said it himself.
Okay.
It's where he wants to be. Honestly, that would be the best place for him right now. Like, go be the king of the castle.
I don't think so at all.
But
I completely
I don't really want to. I don't really need to see him anymore.
No, I don't either. I do think there's money to be made though for a little WWE run.
Absolutely. Like we've said here up in Canada, Jericho is still a draw for people. When he was announced for certain shows, people were like, oh, Jericho. So it was kind of shocking not to see him there. And maybe deep down, I kind of wanted to see it. Maybe deep down, I wanted to hear the Millennium Countdown into Judas.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I felt robbed, and that wouldn't necessarily make this show any better, but
I mean, also you can see from like Jericho might go, well, I don't want to be in the Rumble if I'm not going to win, like debut me on Raw,
and he wouldn't. SmackDown. Yeah, that's true.
Debut me at the end of Chamber or whatever,
Right. Yeah. Maybe like we've said a few times, like AEW bring in Jericho's AEW way. I'm not talking like learning tree, but like Jericho and a stable in 2026 WWE could probably work, right? Like he could help get people over. It didn't necessarily work in AEW with some of the people. So maybe try that. I'm not sure, but yeah.
A couple more items to go over. We are saying goodbye to AJ Styles, but we also have to pour one out for Ava, who announced she has left WWE on her own terms and actually put out a tweet earlier today saying fuck ICE and basically saying I'm allowed to say this now, fuck ICE and fuck this administration. So I know you're going to sorely miss Ava. What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I've been just thinking about it all day. I'm just really sad about this. What are we going to do on Tuesday nights? Who am I going to rag on now? Who am I going to like moan about on Tuesdays on NXT? I always complained about the character, and her saying that tweet was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
because that's telling me, oh yeah, you're not allowed to be vocal against certain things because they don't want you to. So I thought that was very, very honorable of her. And I feel like there might be more to this story. Like,
it's I mean, I don't know, possibly. I get the sense that she just she isn't made out for this. She's been there a long time. The wrestling didn't work. She's, I think, had multiple knee surgeries and stuff, so can't wrestle. And she didn't take to the mic and didn't take to this role particularly well. And she's probably realizing this isn't it for me. And then by the sounds of that tweet, is probably pretty disgusted by a lot of the things that this company stands for. And is like, okay, she's probably every week goes out on TV on Tuesdays and is getting absolutely pelted on Twitter of her not being good. And she's probably thinking, why am I sticking around doing this job I'm not very good at for a company that I disagree with everything they stand for? So, like, adios.
I couldn't imagine. I know she's been kind of vocal on social media before, and like you could kind of tell which way she leans and things she wanted to maybe get off her chest without saying it, like that tweet that she did today. But look at NXT and like look at the past few years of her being there. A lot of her peers and coworkers do not share the same values as her, do not share the same ideology and visions and maybe morals, perhaps. I just find that like maybe that was a factor too. Like, I'm working with all these people who I don't
who are supporting this shit going on right now.
Again, I've not been the biggest fan of her, obviously, and I don't think it's the person. I just think, like you said, maybe this isn't for you. Like, you couldn't wrestle and then you can't talk on the mic. I don't know what else there is to really do in wrestling. So maybe you go do other stuff. I'm sure she will find something. Like, her dad's The Rock. She's not going to be hurting financially at all. She's going to have a better life than majority of us. Okay. She's The Rock's daughter. She's already lived 3 different lives, I'm sure. Shout out Nepo babies. But like,
I mean, she'd have been like, I think the reporting was that they like wanted to keep hold of her. Like they didn't want her to leave necessarily. Yeah. Like, come on, it's anyone else who's putting out those performances would have been gone years ago.
Yeah. And I think she'll find whatever else she wants to do and be happy about that. But, and again, you've heard how negative I have been about some of the performances and the character and all that stuff. I think she, again, showed a little bit of honorable, like, you know what, I'm out of this. And while exiting, fuck y'all, fuck that administration. I was like, oh shit, okay, so all the power to her. I'm not going to kick someone while they're down, but like, I am happy. I don't like general manager shit in wrestling, anyways. It's the oldest trope, and I get that this is part of the TV show, but it's like she was not good. So I'm not going to kick her while she's down. I'm kind of happy that she's gone, and I'm kind of happy that maybe she can go be happy and do other stuff outside of wrestling. So all the power to her. I'm sure people were tuning in to be like, oh shit, this guy's gonna I felt bad. I got a lot of messages yesterday. I got like maybe 15 different DMs from some listeners being like, this is your fault. What have you done? And I'm like, that is not true. I never attacked someone personally. I just said, hey, what this character of this TV show I don't like. So, I'd never do something out of pure malice or hatred. If you've listened to me, unless you're the fucking Miz, go film Subway commercials or whatever. I don't want to watch whatever that wrestling is too. I hope he puts out a tweet soon saying fuck that administration, but something tells me he wouldn't do that. But anyways, what if I don't have Ava now, who else on NXT is my like punching bag now?
There's a lot, I'm sure. Shiloh Hill, Jasper Troy, pretty much everyone in the main event of the NXT Championship on Tuesday. Yeah, there's plenty.
Hear us talk about it. We'll talk about Ava more, I'm sure, on Tuesday with whatever is happening on NXT, and maybe we bring in Regal. Maybe we bring in someone else to be.
Well, you got slot. Mr. Stone. Whether they just have him in that role for now until someone else.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. We'll see, but. That is for Tuesday. Was there anything else this week in the world of wrestling?
Like, we've gone long, but maybe we'll talk a little bit about AEW and Tommaso Ciampa we talked about just a week ago. And now he's debuted and already won the TNT title.
Yeah, again, like the guy put out a little interview where he didn't fire shots at WWE, said I have mad respect and loved all my time there. Just I saw that AEW was the place to be, and it looks like popular, and I want to be part of this team. And so far, day one, I love being part of this team. It's just different. I just want to wrestle, and I think that's just awesome. This guy, obviously, he's getting up there. He's probably wants to wrestle while he can. And
I think he's what, 40, 41?
Like, oh, so he's not okay. He's not like necessarily old. It's just because he had that gray beard.
He's got the gray,
like, and yeah, he's fucking jacked though. So
yeah,
I'm happy. I've been a follower and like this dude has been awesome to watch. Even before NXT, we were fans of this guy. Ring of Honor, Indies, all that stuff, and I'm just happy. I want to see him wrestle, and I do prefer AEW just because like the wrestling and not so much into some of the other stuff WWE does. And maybe he was feeling the same way and just like, I just want to go out there and have fun and do this and probably make more money while doing this because Tony Khan he's got that payroll, he's got that bank. So, and Jericho's gone. So you can afford a lot more people. So I don't know, man, this was cool. We were literally talking on Tuesday, like, oh, should he show up in AEW? I was wearing my Black Heart shirt. I was like, oh, maybe we see him again. You know, like, it feels weird. I missed him. And yet he's been wrestling. He's been part of WWE, but I missed him. Yeah. If that makes sense. So seeing him come out on Wednesday was like, oh shit, you're not wasting any time. You just showed up right away.
I liked it a lot. And I liked him winning the championship right away. It looks like we're going to a Kyle Fletcher, Tommaso Ciampa feud, yes. Which sounds great. I think the Briscoe customized camo TNT title will really suit him as well. He absolutely shouldn't change this. I think it really works for him. And yeah, I think everything from the presentation, you know, the entrance, the theme song, all that, it made him feel like a big deal. Like, okay, this guy, he's not gonna move the needle, or this guy is not necessarily going to be your world champion, but he's a great person to have in the company. And AEW definitely pride themselves on the depth of their whole roster. And that's why you see these ridiculously long pay-per-views and things like that, because they want to showcase these guys. But I thought him versus Briscoe was a lot of fun. You know, for people who go on about his age, for me, age is only a matter if you're slow, if you slow down, if you can't do what you used to do. And this guy's as good as any of them. So we're black and gold guys through and through. So we're always going to be happy to see a Ciampa or whoever. And if we get to watch him wrestle more, that's great.
Johnny, this could be you.
Yeah.
This could be you, Gargano. But you love Triple H too much. I could never see him leave. Even if he never gets booked to wrestle ever in WWE, as long as he's part of the roster, I cannot see that man leaving.
We just need DIY FTR again and DIY in the Bucks.
Come on. Like, I don't think we'll ever see that again, because I think Johnny will just stay in WWE, even if he's main event or superstars wrestler.
Maybe even Ciampa's like, no, fuck off. Let me, like, can I not be tied to your hip? Like, for a bit? Like,
that's fair. That is fair. Like, I've watched his career before they were DIY. The story of DIY is they got booked together in NXT, and that just stuck. They were really good, and then that was like, man,
this works.
Yeah. So I thought that was awesome. Also, the theme song, that story is so funny. So like, is it Ruckus who does AEW's music? He was told like a day before and hustled to get this theme made, and apparently asked the guy who does the Big Show song.
Okay.
They're like, well, he got that guy, and then made a song in like a day. And then that's what he came out to. Because I thought right away, I was like, ooh, okay, it's not Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads, because I'm sure that's a lot of money, but this is pretty cool. This song sounds good. And then hearing that story, I was like, oh, flowers to that Ruckus dude. Because I know maybe people, AW, you know, you want to hear the licensed music and the music and stuff, but he makes some good ones too. So shout out that guy. I thought that was pretty cool. Like the match with him on Collision, and we'll see more of Ciampa, and the Fletcher thing sounds good. But speaking of black and gold, I think I was wrong about Andrade. You know, the guy flip-flops all around, and I know it's been almost 8 years now since that on Andrade versus Gargano and Chill. But Andrade and Swerve, they were cooking. Andrade was like,
great.
Andrade was like, no. Well, I got to remind y'all. I got to remind you who the fuck I am.
It's funny because both guys looks like they've eaten the previous versions of themselves, yet they're still moving like they used to move.
Yeah.
And I thought this was a great match, and it's got me very excited for Kenny versus Andrade coming up.
Yeah, that's like I cannot wait to watch this match. That feels like it's giving it away. Like I really can't wait to watch that. I feel like I might have to come over and watch this match. We should watch Dynamite because Dynamite looks stacked. Because, you know, Kenny's one of my favorites to watch, but the whole it's kind of similar with Andrade, like the stop start flipping. Okay, Andrade is a little different because contracts and leaving, going back and leaving, going back, whatever. Whereas Kenny's like disappears and then injuries and disappears, and then Kenny wrestling the past little while is like, no, I'm back. It's almost like the weird run he had was he was subduing himself to let the beast come back out, to let that demon come back out. Because I thought both Kenny and Andrade, I'm not saying I've written these guys off. I'm not saying that. I'm just like, I was both Kenny and Andrade on Wednesday. I was like, oh shit, I was wrong. You guys are at the top. Like, you look amazing. So Andrade's
like, always been good, but as you said, it has been the booking. And I think, you know, he probably left on, you know, he had a good run in the Continental Classic, and by all accounts on that presser, like after he left, was on very good terms, and Tony Khan's clearly like high on his work. And I think sort of maybe a conversation's been had there where Andrade's come back and Tony's like, you know what, you like, I respect how you've done business with us at least. So we're gonna try and make it good this time. We're gonna try and make it work this time. And being featured right at the top.
I know you've always been an Andrade fan, and so have I, and so have many people. But again, yeah, the way it's been booked, the way he's left WWE, he's kind of like a mid-card guy there, a mid-card guy in AEW a little bit. But then I don't know, it felt like this week he was like, no, I got to remind people like of why I am in this kind of position. And then shout out one of my old favorite WoW superstars, Jasmine Allure, was the girl in the crowd.
Okay.
The phone number and the thing. So he's doing like
she was she in NXT?
She may have wrestled like one match or something, but she's really good actually. They should put her on TV. But she I like the gimmick, and like I kind of want to see Andrade do some Arena Mexico, CMLL stuff. Like that would be cool. I thought he looked good. I thought Kenny looked good. I thought Dynamite was really, really good this week. Like those two matches. I mean, Kenny really just that moment with Rocky. He kills him. Like that was good. Ciampa came out. You have the little stuff with MJF and Brody. Like I just thought there was a lot of sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say like I like and dislike the direction we're going with the world title. Like I like that we've set up essentially this mini tournament, and you get the sense that the next few challenges for MJF are gonna be Swerve, Hangman, Kenny, and potentially Andrade. Like he could be facing all four of those guys in the next few months. Like I'm not necessarily discounting Andrade winning against Kenny next week, and we're pushing off Kenny for Dynasty. You know, like he can continue that chase, and we can do a little Andrade MJF match or whatever. But I just found it funny, like this tournament, not tournament they've done. It's what happens if Rocky Romero beat Kenny? Like was Rocky in this, like in this tournament? Why did Hangman? So Hangman's facing the winner of one of them for.
Am I crazy? I feel like I feel like a gripe we've had for sure is like the champion's the champion, and then once that happens, we kind of move away, and then the champion just like the MJF Brody King is like a mid-card kind of like a mini TV feud, right? To hold off for pay-per-views. Now they have time in between these pay-per-views warranted. So, but I feel like the story of Hangman being like, no. I'm not just going to go feud with Hook. Fuck that. I'm going for the title. Yeah. Swerve being like, yeah, well, actually, fuck you, because I'm going for the title. And then Kenny. And then, like, I actually think they've made it more interesting, of a full story of the show. So it makes me want to watch next week because I'm not sure where we're going. Is it Swerve, Hangman? You had, what was the show ending with MJF walking off, and then Kenny approaches him, and then he walks away from Kenny, and then Andrade's there, and then he goes to the car, and then Hangman. So it's like, it almost feels like, you know, when like Rock or Austin was champion, and then you got Triple H being like, hey, I'm coming after you. And then it's like, I don't know, it felt like you have all these teases of stories, which they haven't necessarily done in AEW. And I feel like it has my interest of like, ooh, there's some potential here. You're teasing, because before Hangman, the story would just be Hangman is now busy with Hook, and he goes and disappears, where he's telling you on TV, like, no, I want my title back. And I think that is some progression in what AEW has shown us in the past. Of, if I had to nitpick, they've kind of dropped the ball on champions and stuff, where I feel like, ooh, you actually have me thinking and interested, and that is good. That is good for TV. That is good for the story. So I really, really like that. And selfishly, just booked my flights for Dynasty. Kenny versus MJF. Kenny wins the title. Lights go out. The demigods and the angry ghosts. I am phenomenal. Come on. It would be fucking mental. Or maybe that's LA. But somehow, some way, AJ Styles and AEW, please. Please. Just make it happen. I thought Dynamite was great, and looking forward to this week's. And if AJ comes into AEW, oh my God, I'll cry. Cry. Feel bad for Jake something.
Oh yeah, that sucks. And I thought that tag team actually had something. I liked it. This kind of just horse tag team of Doyle and Davis.
I really them. Yeah.
Like, and Davis is someone who just, you know, had his injuries, and obviously Kyle caught fire, so he's on his own, and he's just been this like odd one out, and has proved. I think it was that Casino Gauntlet where everyone's sort of eyes opened again, and you're like, oh yeah, Mark Davis is actually really good, and this tag team worked, and just such a shame.
You could hear it. You could hear him right away, clear as day. I just torn my hamstring, is what he says, and it's like, oh no,
his pec, right? I think.
Yeah, I right away I was like, did I just hear him say that? No, and then it's like clearly he was hurt, right? Like, so I hope he comes back, because in the short few weeks, I was like, dude, this guy is sick. These two guys, just these two angry white men who are so jacked and angry and beating people up, and I don't think they should have beaten FTR quite yet, but so far I was liking Jake something in AEW. So hopefully he has a quick recovery and they can bounce back, because I think they may have something with that team. I think people were getting into it. But yeah, looking forward to Dynamite. We kind of said, like, if you don't go with Kenny at Dynasty in LA, like, where do we go with that? Do you hold off Kenny for Vancouver, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, you could do in LA, you could do MJF. MJF, Adam Page. You could do Swerve MJF. You could do Andrade MJF. There's a lot.
There's a few options there.
Different options. Oh well, not Swerve, right? Swerve lost. So yeah, you could do Andrade or Page.
I felt like just wrestling as a whole this week, there was so much going on. Like, we went to Raw, then I watched Dynamite. I thought it was good. Then we did the Rumble, and like, this week was, every week the wrestling never stops. But I just felt like I was entertained this week. It's good stuff.
Yep,
all around. So there you go. That was what was going on in the world of wrestling. I'm sure there's a ton more we skipped over, but we've been going long today, so we will get out of here. But we will be back this Tuesday, right after NXT, on Post Wrestling for a new episode of Up Next at 10:05 p.m. Catch us talking about a new NXT champion will be crowned. Shiloh Hill, new NXT champ.
Who fucking knows? Maybe.
Who knows, or who cares? I guess when you look at this matchup on Tuesday. But we will be here to talk all about it at Post Wrestling. And then next Sunday, catch us right here for a new edition of Poisonrana Live. We'll talk about Dynamite, Kenny and Andrade, plus SmackDown and everything else in the world of wrestling. Follow us, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that fun stuff. And you want to hear more, search us at patreon.com/Poisonrana. It is $5 a month to get all the movie reviews, wrestling reviews, and so much more, and tons of content. And we can't do it without people out there. So thank you for listening here today. Hope you have a good week. Stay warm wherever you are. And if you did attend our show at the National, thank you so much again for seeing you. And we hope to see you at the Elimination Chamber watch party, WrestleMania, and so much more. So
one last thing. I don't know why it just came to my mind,
okay,
but Something I found really weird at the Royal Rumble was Mark Nash, the ring announcer before both matches, went, "Who's ready to Royal Rumble?" It's like, it's not quite "Let's get ready to rumble," is it?
He's gonna get sued if he says
that. I know, but like it's like it's now time for the Royal Rumble match or something. Like, let's get ready to Royal Rumble or who's ready to Royal Rumble just tickled me.
Yeah.
Bless. All right, we're out of here.
That is it. That is all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And who wants to Royal Rumble?
Ahoy!